Hello and welcome to Tucson, Arizona. I'm Randy,
I'm Daniel.
and we're here to review some movies.
Woohoo!
Alrighty, so which one do you want to start with?
Let's do the horror flick that we just watched,
In a Violent Nature?
In a Violent Nature.
Yeah, buddy. What'd you think?
It was cool. I really liked it. There was a lot of the aspects of it that I really enjoyed. However they filmed it was super kick-ass.
It was on a Canon.
It looked like it was on film.
It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
It's digital.
Okay, so it looked like it was on film.
Yeah, it's the same camera that I want.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like $7,000.
It looked like it was on film, which I really enjoyed. I thought that added a nice aesthetic to it.
It was.
The third person following the monster killer the whole time was really interesting because you don't ever get that perspective in horror films.
Really creative.
So it was very creative. Lots of really long establishing shots.
Well, that's what he wanted. He
Yeah,
wanted
I
that
know. I could
tense,
tell.
long following.
I could tell.
Following the bad guy.
Yeah, just a lot of that. It was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. The kills were super cool. Kill number 3 was my personal favorite.
The chick on the cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was gnarly, dude.
Yeah, very creative, original.
Kill ideas.
Yeah, very original kill ideas. I am a big fan of the filming style. I liked because the movie, I'd say it was probably 20%, if that, action, and like 80 to almost even 90% walking.
Yeah.
Like, but very tense. I wasn't ever. I guess maybe like the first 5 minutes, I was like, whoa, and kind of like anticipating. And then after that, I just like, it was real chill.
Yeah.
It's a very mellow slasher.
You start to fall for the killer, so
It was.
Following him around becomes fun instead of a chore.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was more of a matter of how is it going to run into the next person?
Yeah.
Because if you haven't seen it yet, go out and watch it. If you and if you haven't seen it, very spoilerific. I like the very simple, like it's a very simple premise. The whole thing's a very, very simple movie to watch. Very easy. There are some disturbing moments, like if you're not a big
Gore fan.
Yeah, like if you love Saw, then this isn't going to be very shocking. But if you're like a casual horror film watcher, I think it's going to like really captivate you. I would consider myself a casual horror film watcher. I mean, I've seen a lot of them, but I generally don't go flocking to them. Like there are a few that I'm like, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. But it's because I know they're going to be thrilling. This one I knew I wanted to watch because I knew a little bit about it. Like I knew the premise. I knew it was a very simple premise. I knew it was all about a necklace. I even knew a little bit about why. Like I don't remember what podcast I was listening to talking about it, but they kind of teed it off. And I don't think it gives anything away to know why, because the first 3 minutes of the movie is all the friends walking unseen. You don't see them. You're just kind of looking at this weird image of the woods and like what's left of a building.
Firehouse.
And you don't really know that that's what you're looking at. You're just kind of a weird frame and a frame of a window. And you don't understand why it's staying a still shot for like 4 minutes. And then you hear a couple of guys talking. And he's like, oh, hey, a gold necklace. It's like, I'm just going to take this. And one guy even says, dude, it's there for a reason. Leave it alone. And of course, because it's a movie, he doesn't. And he walks off with it. And then a few minutes later, you're looking at a tube and it starts shaking. And then there's a hand coming out of the ground. This dude was buried in the ground with like an air tube. And the necklace was on the air tube. And now he goes very casually, slowly walking through the woods to find his necklace. And everyone dies.
Yeah. A lot of people die.
But I love the cinematography. It was very creative, very subtle.
It was interesting.
Like, I'm with you though.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest shot films.
Yeah.
Like even not just for a slasher, but just like for a
general,
movie.
Yeah.
So shot on a Canon C70. The camera's awesome. I really want one. I've been looking at them for like 6-7 months now. I mean, I can't afford to go buy one right now. Thanks, Kamala. But yeah, dude, as soon as I can, I want to buy that camera, and that's going to be the primary camera for this show.
Oh, okay.
Like that whole series of cameras is the next step up from what I've got.
Gotcha.
That's the pro level. Mine's like the intermediate. It's not an entry level, but it's not the big boys. And that camera's not big, dude. It's not a full rig. Like it's not a pro rig. The camera's only like this big.
Oh, wow.
So the fact that thing was shot, it really shows the quality of the camera and of the guy who came up with the idea to shoot it the way they did.
Yeah.
Because that was rad.
It was fun, dude. I enjoyed it.
It's very simple, though.
Way better than Long Legs.
Oh, my God. Everything's better than Long Legs.
Yeah,
Don't watch Long Legs.
It was really good.
Watch A Violent Nature.
Yeah, that was really fun. Canadian film.
Yep.
Canucks did good.
Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario.
What would you say? So other than that third whammy.
First one.
Yeah.
First one was sick, too.
It's simple, so don't freak out and expect to be surprised by every scene, because it's not going to surprise you. Because when he walked in,
a big thing is, because you're following the killer, there's no jump scares into anything. You're just anticipating a kill, because off frame you'll see the victim, the next victim that he's going towards, and you're like, oh shit, it's gonna happen. And then you're just trying to figure out how he's gonna do it.
I thought there were going to be a few jump scares early on.
I did too.
There were a few spots they teed up.
They really did.
And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I almost leaned over to your mom and was like, jump scare's about to happen. And I'm glad I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no jump scares.
Because I would have been wrong.
Yeah, no jump scares.
Yeah, no cats.
No cats.
Not one cat.
No jump scares.
Might have been a dog.
There was a dead dog.
But no cats.
They definitely teed up, like you said, really well for some jump scares, and they never did it. Even towards the end, when they're doing those really long shots that are just
very
dragging
long
and
shots.
dragging, and you're waiting for something to happen, and nothing happens. And it wasn't like disappointing that nothing happened.
Yeah, it's very much like an anticipation.
That anticipation rode all the way through, and then once it ends, you're like, oh, thank God.
So
I really enjoyed that.
I think there was a few things that were weak for me.
There's one thing for me.
And okay, so what's your one thing?
Why wasn't he buried with the necklace?
That's a good question. But it was so that you find out that the necklace, again, spoilers. You find out that the necklace is the one thing that can, like, how did the guy put it?
Connects it to his mother.
Yeah, but he says it's the one thing that can, like, keep him at bay or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. I can't remember exactly what he said.
Yeah, so you find that this park ranger.
Yeah, the park ranger.
His dad was a survivor of the original attack that presumably this guy, it's either this guy or his dad, but I think his dad was dead and it was this kid.
I think it was.
But it makes no, there's a few things there's a few things weak for me. Fair question with the necklace, but I mean, he put it on the air tube so that it was over his like grave, because you find out that the ranger buried him. He was the one who put him down and buried him. So when they tell it, when he gets out of the ground and goes looking for this necklace, it was a really fun shot where the park ranger just takes off. He's yelling at this poacher, and the walk through the house as the dude walks out, like, it was very cool the way they did all these transition shots of him walking around.
Yeah. Specifically houses too. He does it a couple of times.
Yeah. Like, he takes the long way around.
Yeah.
So he's a very slow, like, patient killer. He's not in a hurry ever. Like, he actually picks up the pace once.
Very Voorhees-esque.
Very.
Yeah.
So he takes out these two dudes because he sees a necklace, thinks it might be his, and then, like, leaves and kills the guy, and then comes back to the house and picks up the necklace and sees that it's not his, drops it, and keeps moving. And then as he's walking, he starts hearing cars and stuff and people talking, so he goes up to them. Well, then they start telling, so it's a bunch of young, like, 22-year-old, like, college kids.
Yeah. Dumb college kids.
Sitting around. You have the trope.
Yeah.
For a very original film, they fall into one big trope.
And there's a final girl.
There is.
Yeah.
Which, dude, I was hoping there wouldn't be.
Yeah, me too.
Is that bad?
Me too.
I was like, please just
I was hoping
take her
everybody
out.
was getting taken out.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, because she's a weak-ass final girl.
and
she's not a final girl, dude.
No.
She's a girl who
she's just a
survived
girl
to
that
the
survived
to the end.
Yeah,
She's not a final.
not a final girl. But like she didn't play like. It's one thing that I enjoyed too is you don't really get to know any of these characters, which was nice.
No. No
There's
investment.
No investment. Yeah,
You were
exactly.
detached.
So every kill was like it was the way they shot it too. You're so invested in the killer.
Yeah.
Like at least I was. Like
No,
I was
no,
like
I was.
I was like rooting for him. I was like, come on, dude, go get him.
Get your necklace back,
yeah,
homie.
yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I
Yeah.
feel the same way. It does lend you to like not because you were truly detached from these people.
Yeah.
You get was like a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute scene of them around a campfire.
Telling a scary story.
And so this one guy starts telling a story because he knows, because of his uncle, he knows about this area of these woods. And he's like, hey, there was this story about this, this guy who had a slow son. Now that's key problem for me, number one.
What?
Except for when at a certain point someone throws keys. You don't understand why, but like someone's wanting to take off and someone throws the car keys. And he picks them up because there's a toy car on a keychain. It's a keychain. And they fall at his feet. And they're yelling at each other off screen. And he leans down and picks this up because presumably he is the tormented remains of this boy.
Yeah.
And he's a big dude. And he picks these things up and he goes and he sits down and leans up against a big tree. And he takes his mask off and he's like very much a child enthralled with playing with this toy car. And his eyes are like soulless.
Yeah, gray.
And like not one time except for that scene does he ever seem slow. Like, because they allude to that a lot. He never says the actual R word, but he does say like slow, and he's like, whoa, you cancel culture. Like, I do love the small digs at the cancel culture garbage. And she's like, there's no such thing. And he's like, yeah, there really is. Like, if I say a word, you're going to be canceled online. So he does extremely creative things. So like at one point he's coming up on this house, and this is right after he gets the car. He has the car keys, and then they're arguing in the background, and they break his trance that he's got with this car, and he crushes the car, and he gets up, and by this point everyone had gotten real close to him, and then they wander off. But when he picks up the car keys, he's holding an axe, and he drops it. And this guy looking for the keys finds it, picks it up, walks back to the house, and just thumps it into a stump. And he goes in the house. And then 2 other people take off on a quad to go find a park ranger because they can't find their friend that he very much like pseudo decapitated with the wood saw, which I saw coming. I was like, dude, pick up the wood saw. And then he does, and then gets behind the dude with the tree, gets him right in the mouth, and takes the top of his head off. And then what's wild is watching him walk through the woods for a long walk to the ranger station,
dragging the body
for who knows what reason, holding the top half of the head and dragging the body by what's left of the lower half of the head all the way to the ranger station, and then breaks the window with what's left of the head, and then throws it in, and then drags the body into it's not the ranger station, sorry.
Yeah, it was the ranger station.
But the ranger wasn't there.
No.
But so it's like this little museum they've got for the history of the wood, all these lumberjacks that used to work these woods. And he walks over, and part of the lure, when they're to go back to this story, he's telling the story about this little boy who was slow and like left his toys laying around. And at some point, some big ass lumberjack like tripped over a toy, got hurt, got pissed, and all the guys were tired of this lumberjack's kid. And they decided to like prank this like 8-year-old boy and tell him there's a whole bag of toys on top of a water tower. And then he sneaks out, goes up there, and they're wearing one of their old logging or fire masks, and scares him, and the kid falls and breaks his neck and dies. And then like the next day, the dad figures out what happened, like challenges all the guys to a fight and dies. And then 4 days later, someone slaughters all these lumberjacks, like presumably 20 or 30 lumberjacks. Lumberjacks are typically big burly dudes. And then you find out that it's the son. How did this like 8-year-old come back and slaughter. So that's the thing. Like he doesn't seem slow except for when he's playing with the car. How did he slaughter everyone as like an undead Jason Voorhees at like 8 years old? That makes zero sense to me.
Maybe he came back right as the big guy right away.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, because none of the rest of it makes any sense.
Yeah, and the story's by the first death.
Yeah. So
Can't take it all.
Yeah. Like I get, like it's a hand-me-down campfire story. Like I get that, but it's like for a little while I was like, is it like what's left of the dad? Except when he's looking in the mirror, he sees that memory of the dad giving him the necklace, saying, you know, this is
cool
represents your
too.
mom.
Really cool shot.
Really creative shot.
That was fun. That was in the beginning too, so it really
when he's walking to that dude's house. Like that was really creative.
Yeah.
So you don't get a lot of like it's the only like pseudo flashback you get, and it takes place in a mirror in part of the entire screen. So it's really well done. But then so he's playing with his car. To cut back to that scene, he's playing with his car, and by this point he's got his hood, he's got his wood hooks, his drag hooks, and he walks up. The car keys he left by the stump, so no one's got the car keys, and there's a couple dudes in the house. He comes stomping up to the truck. They got like an Explorer, and he picks up a branch, and then he shoves it between the seat and the steering wheel to lay on the steering wheel, and it's like the fastest he ever walks all the way around the house.
Yeah.
As his horn's just blaring, and the dude inside comes running out, and he's yelling, and he runs up to the car, and he pulls out the stick, and by this point, homeboy's gone all the way around the house, takes the axe back out of the lumber, and then runs up and like starts to try to chop the dude, but now he fights back with the piece of wood. So then he's trying to get him, gets chomped in the leg, and his buddy comes running out with a rifle that everyone seems to have a problem firing rifles in this damn movie.
Yeah.
Like the first guy that he kills has a rifle that seems to be like a single shot rifle.
Yeah.
That he like fires at nothing.
And
then he's trying to reload it, and then the guy
and that's his rifle.
Yeah. So
at least the kid in the cabin, that wasn't even his. That was just a repeater that was somebody else's.
Yeah, and then he has a hard time racking a second round, but he does put two into.
Yeah. I'm looking up. I'm trying to see if he's got a name.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, I don't want to call him Jason, but he's very Jason-esque. So he puts the killer goes down with the second round.
Violent nature.
Yeah, violent nature. So the kid goes. So the dude Johnny. So Johnny goes down. And the guy with the rifle goes running over to his buddy. It like helps him wrap his belt as like a tourniquet around his leg, and then he starts helping him hobble off. Well, after about 30 seconds, Johnny gets back up, and I missed this because I was doing the dishes in the other room, and so I'd looked down and then looked up, and it's that quick. But apparently, through the axe, it took out the healthy guy.
Yeah.
And then he comes stomping over to the dude who'd already gotten the leg. And then, what the hell did he do to him?
Picked up a rock and smashed his head like
right.
a pimple.
Dude drops this big boulder on his head, and it goes splat like a cartoon.
Yeah.
So then he continues on. And by this point, the ATV people show up. Because now he's searching the dude, because he remembered seeing him at the campfire. The guy actually pulled the necklace out of his pocket as this scary story was going on, and puts it back in his pocket. And homeboy's standing just off the path in the tree line, right behind all these people, and one of the girls gets like a selfie with all of her friends, and you can barely see him back there, but he's there.
Very eerie.
Yeah, dude, it's real. It's very Jason-esque. It's Michael Myers-esque.
Yeah,
he's just kind of hanging out in the shadows.
Yeah,
but he was harder to see than Michael Myers ever was.
Yeah, he was. You had to look for him.
Yeah, I was
looking for him.
Me
in
too,
every
dude.
Shot, dude.
Me too. Especially in the ending.
Yeah,
you're like,
oh yeah.
I was doing this like a grid system with my
eyes,
eyes, looking for him. So, the few times he's not the central like focal point when you are actually looking at someone else, like you're looking for him.
Yeah.
So, and that's very rare in the movie. So, the girl and her friend come back on this ATV, and they see stuff going on, but she's leaning down looking at her friend, and the necklace is hanging, and dude sees it, and it's the fastest he ever walks in the whole movie. He's trying to get to her. She gets back on the quad, they take off. So now he's stomping through looking for them. Get to the ranger station. He pulls up. They're at the ranger station. The ranger he's like, what? You took the necklace?
Where'd you get the necklace?
Like, yeah, like that's the only thing like keeping him at bay. Like, you know, you need to get that back. And then he like, over the course of like 2 minutes, is explaining that him and his dad was the only survivor of the original attack, and he never believed his stories until this guy came back 10 years ago, and him and his dad hunted him down, put him down, buried him, put the necklace on the thing. So 10 years ago was the last time he went on like this butchering rampage. And this ranger dude.
His kill was awesome too.
So debatable for me.
I love how slow it was and how he like tested it and then tested it on his arm to make sure it cut through him and then cut his head off. I thought the slowness of it was awesome. And he broke the dude's back with his bare hands, which was gnarly.
So with the broken back, he's already like out of commission. But then when he drags him in, so he takes him he fires up this old log splitter, this gas-powered hydraulic log splitter. And the dude's laying there paralyzed, and he puts his arm up in there after splitting a piece of wood that was in it. He puts the dude's arm up in there, and then cuts off the arm. Well, then there's blood everywhere. He would have passed out from that. Yeah, like he's already done. So the rest of it was like very slow. Yeah, it's kind of like okay, and then decapitates him with it, and it's like, dude, you know where the necklace is. Yeah, they just took off. Yeah, if you only cared about the necklace, like you could have just chased them down.
Very creative killer.
It was, I don't know, dude. It was like in a story that had me so captivated that took me out of it.
Really?
That whole scene.
I loved it.
It was like, okay, like you chase them for the necklace. This whole time you've been killing people looking for the necklace. Now you know who has it, and they just went that way. And instead of going that way, you spent 10 minutes dealing with this dude. I was like, it kind of took me out of it because he no longer cared about the necklace. He was doing this just to do this. Yeah. And for the movie's sake, okay, cool. But for the story's sake, like it took me out of that, like he's on a mission because he just side quested for no reason. That's the only, like, if he'd just, like, I get it for the movie.
Yeah, that's why
I can't say that enough. Like, yeah, for the movie, fine, I get it. But the story was going really well. And then now you're like, okay, well, what was that about? Like, he had nothing to do with the necklace. It was long and arduous putting those people farther away from you with the necklace. Yeah, like that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like, dude, your necklace is getting away. Yeah, you came all the way here for the necklace.
I get what you're saying.
So, but then he,
I like the movie's littered with them, but like the one shot, like one continuous take shots.
Yeah,
like that one was a really gnarly one because there's times where he's walking like back and forth and it's all in there. There's no cuts in it. Yeah. So I don't know, something about it. I liked it.
No, it was really creative. So then these two idiots who take off running, the two survivors, a boy and a girl, very tropish. So the very beginning,
it just made me think of his death.
So the very beginning, when the ranger is at the first dude's house that he goes and kills, he's got all these traps because the guy, like I said, is out there trapping illegally, and he throws these traps in the bed of his truck. So they take off. Before I keep doing some of this out of order, but when he shoots him, puts him down, and he's just laying there, and he's like, "Go get the chains out of the shed." So the kid goes and gets chains. He's like, "All right, wrap him up with chains," and he was like, "Oh, I can't." He's like, "Stop shaking." He's like, "All right, I'm going to hand you the rifle on 3. Stop shaking. Take the rifle." I was like, dude, no. That scared little punk is shaking. You cannot rely on him to hold that rifle and protect you. Don't do it. And as soon as he hands the rifle off, this dude pops up. Punk-ass dude takes off running with the chick, and now the dude gets his back broke, gets all diced up. It's like, why would you ever? I would never be like, oh yeah, here, stranger, I don't know, who's shaking and pissing in his boots. Here's the gun. Keep me safe. Cover me. while I wrap this guy up. No, I'd be like, hey, either get it together or I'm going to leave in my truck.
Yeah.
Good luck to you both. Like, not a chance in hell I'd have handed that rifle over to that punk ass kid. So, anyways, when they take off running, they grab all the traps out of the bed of this truck. Now you're running with a bunch of steel.
Mm-hmm.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But they take off and somehow got like a 5-gallon can of gas and these traps. And they're going to set up a trap to like put this dude down. Because the guy, dumped some info on him about how to like put him down with the jewelry. So they run him out there and they're talking, and as he's walking towards where they're at, you can hear him talking. They're like, oh yeah, we'll get him right here, we'll trap him, you got to trap him right here in this certain place because it's the only place that'll hold him. And then the dude, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. You might as well have said, I'll be right back.
Yeah. That's when I said famous last words.
Yep. So then he pops up behind Johnny, and what's he yell, like, now or something?
Yeah.
And then Johnny swings around
super
and
quick.
gets him with the axe.
Right in the face.
And then starts chopping him.
Beats the shit out of him with the axe.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes.
Beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, girl is standing 20 feet away with the gas at her feet and these traps that aren't even set.
No.
At her feet. It's like, what was your plan? You didn't even set the trap. But so she's sitting there watching this dude just go ham on her friend.
Yeah.
And she's just standing there shook. And then she reaches up, takes off the necklace, and hangs it around the gas can and just books it.
Yeah.
And he's still just chopping away.
And you can hear it in the background.
Yeah.
Him chopping.
So then she's running for the rest of the night, all into the morning, finds a road, and just like very, very slowly
ends up running into a stick and piercing her leg.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So she winds up like piercing just above her ankle. So she's like meandering up this road, and then eventually this little Yoda comes pulling up, and she books it to that truck. And she's like, let's just go. The lady gets out, walks around. Meantime, now she's in the same position from the camera that we've had on Johnny the whole film.
Yeah.
Now you're like 10 feet behind her on the camera. And I was like, oh, dude, he's going to pop up any second, dude.
Me too.
So then she runs off, and now you're like 30, 40 feet away behind her. The lady gets out of the driver's seat of the truck, goes around, helps her in the passenger seat, and then the camera very quickly catches up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, here he is.
That's what I was thinking.
And she gets him in, and as the camera's coming around the door to meet both of them, the main chick turns her head, and I thought, oh, here it is. And no, it wasn't.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, nice build-up.
Yep.
That was nice.
Yep.
So she gets in the truck, they start driving, and then this lady just starts kind of talking about
telling a story about her brother.
Yeah, this bear that was just
bear attack. Yeah.
killing animals ruthlessly just to leave.
Yeah.
And then at some point her brother actually got attacked, but no one ever saw the bear.
Mm.
So in my opinion, I think it was a story about the last time Johnny was out.
Really?
Or one of the times he was out.
Okay.
Just killing stuff. And thought he killed her brother and left.
Okay.
Because he drowned, but it was only gone for like a minute. And then other guys showed up, other rangers showed up,
CPR,
and then medevaced him out of there. I don't think it was a bear.
Oh, okay. I didn't even go there.
Because
I was thinking bear the whole time.
He never saw the bear.
Okay.
If you think about it, she
said
said
he was following the tracks, bear tracks.
This dude's pretty damn creative.
You're right.
He might have just been making some weird
bear tracks.
The guy might have. Well, and you're never gonna just go to, hey, crazy undead dude slaughtering people.
Yeah.
Like your brain will fill in things based on assumptions.
No, I get it.
So for me, I started thinking like, oh shit, this was one of those times he was out, and he happened to stumble upon him because he never saw the bear. And she goes, well, what happened to the bear? She goes, I don't know. He was gone. No one ever saw him. But he even attacked the brother from behind and was getting his head, and then it took off. I'm like, it could be the bear.
Okay.
But I think it sounds a little bit more like him.
Okay. I hear you.
Chop you up, and then because he got him down in the water face down, then he drowned. He thought he was dead, and he moves on. He only once does he ever take a body anywhere.
Yeah, just the one time.
He just kind of
first kill.
He just kind of, whatever. Here you are. I'm leaving you here.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just kind of where my mind went. So then the lady's talking to her, and she's like, "Hey, you need to keep responding to me, so I know you're still here." But then she's, falls asleep, and then she kind of the lady driving looks down and sees the blood in her leg, and she pulls over, and the passenger goes nuts. She's like, "Don't pull over, just get me to the hospital." She's like, "I gotta stop this bleeding." So then she gets out, walks around the damn truck. At this point, I thought everything was fine because they've been driving for like 10 minutes of exposition. So I was like, there's no way he's just going to come out. But so this woman, she's like, "I need to stop the bleeding and then I'll get you to a hospital." She's like, "Okay, fine. We need to go." And she's just like freaking out. But she spins sideways in her seat. And now she's just staring out at the woods while this woman's knelt down
Yeah,
to
she's
tourniquet.
standing in one particular spot.
Yeah. And I looked and looked, and so did you. And I never spotted him.
Me neither.
But like I was waiting for him.
They drug that on for a while. Dude.
I was waiting for him to come just slowly lumbering out.
Lots of shots like that, yeah.
And have her freaking out and have that lady take her sweet time, and then both of them be dusted.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Or at least the lady, yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
And then it cuts back to the gas can where she left the necklace, and the necklace is missing. But no one ever buried him. So
Nobody buried him.
He's still out there.
Yeah. He's got the necklace, huh?
Yeah, he's got his necklace, so he's chill.
Yeah.
Presumably. But he ain't in the ground.
Or if you're right about the whole bear carnage being him, that could have been when he had the necklace and wasn't buried.
Yeah, just wandering
around killing things. Yeah, you never know. They ended it really well.
Yeah,
lots of great shots. Something else I really, really enjoyed about it was the footsteps. His footsteps the whole time, because the movie's very quiet for the most part, and you just hear him walking, and you're right behind him walking, and you just hear it. Because those walking shots were like long,
minutes,
dude. Yeah,
minutes long,
and you just hear him just walking, and it's those footsteps were so.
He's like,
it was awesome.
Lumbering.
It was awesome
because he's never moving fast.
No.
He's just at a steady pace.
Yeah,
he's very Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah,
just kind of
just walking,
taking my time. But he's also like 280 pounds.
Yeah.
Like he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
So that was good, man. I dug it. I thought it was a
lot of fun. Did you have to buy it, or was that on streaming?
No, that was on
Amazon.
Yeah, it was on Amazon.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, that was
really fun, dude. I enjoyed that.
I think it was very creative, very well made.
I agree.
I think a lot of thought went into
really good for a low budget film.
It's really good for a low budget film. I think that its creativity is what gives it all the stars for me. Like some of the story was kind
wasn't overwritten, which was nice. It was so simple.
Everyone behaved the way they should have.
Yeah,
mostly.
Yeah.
I think there were a few things that was like, hey, maybe don't try to surprise the dude that's just murked all of your friends in a very brutal fashion.
Yeah.
Because they came back. When they came back and he spotted the necklace on the girl, they just went to where their other friend, it was in two pieces, and saw that, and they were freaking out, being like, we got to go. So, like, you've seen now some carnage, and then you see your friend with an axe in his back, and then you see your boyfriend over there with no more face. Like, there's some scary going on. Like, get out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it was... I do enjoy that it was simple because it made it an easier watch. Yeah, my critiques are small and they're just my personal opinion. Don't freak out. Like, it's not like I'm not bagging on the movie by any stretch, internet. But I do like how original most of it was. Like, there was only a few tropes that are kind of hard not to have anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because they put you in a position where you have to be like extremely creative to get around those tropes. I think they gave you all the information you needed to understand this person. Like, they could have just done it without any exposition at all and just had it be that.
Yeah.
I think it was more creative this way. And the filming style,
super cool.
I'm never gonna get over how good the filming style was.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like,
it was really fun. It looked like it was done on film. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. You're like, is this on film? I had to look it up.
It looked very old school.
Because I thought it was too.
Yeah.
Until I saw
and
it
it's
on
modern day.
C70.
It's modern day set too. So.
Yeah.
It was a choice to film it like that, which was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I thought it was very good.
It was really fun. the ending, I was like, I enjoyed that. I was smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't disappointed at all.
Mm-mm.
Like, again, a couple of things that just kind
I
of stuck out to me, and
Really
I was like,
want a second one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
It was really
because I'm pretty sure that was a hit. I mean, after hearing about it the first time I heard about it, which was like right before it was like I think it had just come out, and I found someone who had like a streamer of it, like someone who got it sent from the creators to review it, and they talked a little bit about it. Other than that, I tried to avoid learning anything about it because it captivated me.
Okay.
I was like, okay, this could be really interesting. And it was so much better than Long Legs.
Yeah, way better. Way better.
But anyways, if you like horror, and if you appreciate really well done cinematography, check it out.
Yeah, it's a movie for you.
And even if you're not if you're just a casual horror fan, like, but I mean, if you've
I think you would
around,
like it.
if you stuck around for all of this, you already know everything that happens, but all the key stuff. But it's really well done. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing what this guy does with a different film.
Yeah.
Like, very cool, very creative.
Shout out to the Canadians.
Ontario.
They did good.
Well, they did give us the greatest hockey player of all time.
Yes,
so
they did.
They've given us a few things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Poutine.
Yeah. I mean, your ma is French Canadian, so.
I love poutine.
Poutine?
I love poutine. It's one of my favorite things.
I love pudding, too. Okay, so you've also now watched, so moving on, you've also now watched Trilogy.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Watched the second one with me.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of the Kingsman?
It's fun, dude. I really enjoyed it. I'm surprised I never watched it. And I'm even more surprised that it started in 14.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
I missed it completely, dude. I missed it completely because I thought that because I saw it like recently when the 2021 one came out, and I thought that was like the beginning of it. But no,
Nope.
I'm 10 years behind.
Yep.
No, I really liked it, dude. For I want to say, and I've been thinking about this a lot over the last couple of days. I think they're my favorite spy movies.
That's fair.
I think they're up there. They're way up there. I really enjoyed them. The first two were my favorite.
Oh, really?
I loved them. I really liked the third one. There was a lot of great stuff in it, but something about the first two, the characters I love in them, and Merlin is like my favorite. So
yeah, Merlin was great.
Yeah, I couldn't get over him.
Mark
Lord
Strong.
Blackwood.
Yeah, Mark Strong was awesome.
Mark Strong. Yeah, I loved his character so much, and he never plays a good guy. It's fun to see him play a good guy.
Yeah, no, that was like a break from
Yeah.
character for that movie.
Yeah. Doing something different, and
Yeah.
he played it really well. He did really well as Merlin.
He was very fun.
I was so sad that he died, but
Same.
at least he went out like a fucking G, dude.
Yeah, he did. Singing Country Road.
Yeah, Country Road, a full volume. That was awesome. Standing on a landmine. That was so cool.
Yeah, they did give him a very valiant
hero's
death.
ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really did.
Yeah,
Because you can't take out that character without giving him some like real justice.
I agree.
And he got to take out 4 dudes with him.
I
Like,
agree.
He didn't die just to die. I mean, it sucked because he was one of the better characters.
I agree.
Not that there's actually like not a lot of characters in those movies either.
No, there's not.
Like
I really expected there to be more, especially because the cover art shows so many people on it. Oh, and then getting into the third one real quick. Rasputin
yeah,
as the bad guy, that was pretty fun.
I was waiting to see
That was
what you
pretty
thought
fun.
about Rasputin.
He was fun.
I thought Rasputin would be the reason you liked it the most.
I really liked
still
it.
listening,
And his
but-
fight scene I really enjoyed. I liked the Rasputin part was really fun. One of my favorite scenes was the hand-to-hand combat when they're in the war and they're all crawling towards each other, and he's like shh. He's like, no guns. And then they all switch to like knives and shit. I was like, dude, this is gonna get nuts, and it did. And the one guy put on like the gauntlet fist with the blade coming out of it, the German dude. So I thought that was really cool.
So which one was your favorite one?
First one.
Okay.
First one.
All right. Yeah, I had a few different ideas. I was like, well, this could go anyway. I kind of figured you would have dug the third one the most,
Okay.
but I wasn't 100% on that theory.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a possibility because a lot of other people, the third one's their favorite one.
Okay.
The prequel.
I really enjoyed it. There's a special place in my heart for the first
there's
two.
magic in the first one, dude.
There really
I love
is.
the second one, but the first one's my favorite.
First one. Yeah.
But they're all and like this is what I was trying to say last night, and there's no like way to say it that actually makes perfect sense, but they are all equally good.
Yeah.
But there's certain things you'll like about one or
bit.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things you're like, oh, I really liked what they did here.
Yeah.
Versus this, I really liked the origin story.
Mhm.
I thought that was really cool.
Me
like
too.
how this became kind of a thing.
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily the origin that they kind of set up in the second one, because they made it seem like it's been around a lot longer.
Yeah. 1902.
So it seemed like the Statesman, because I'll have to go. We just watched the second one yesterday. But I'm trying to remember what year the Statesman.
They were before.
So, but it says that but Champagne at one point says that they kind of started like at the same time.
Okay.
So it was like,
well, because like
weird.
like a callback in the third one in the prequel that they're talking about is the president is constantly calling for a bottle of Statesman from his butler.
Yeah.
He's like, give me Statesman on the rocks, and he just keeps he says that like 3 times. I don't know if at that point that the Statesmen were established.
They were.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's
Okay.
once Statesman
so
is
they were
the
spies
thing,
already.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
already established, but they made it seem like they were established at around the same time in
Okay.
the second movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
not
what they
that
did.
it matters
They
a lot,
painted it like
but
that, yeah.
that's kind of what it seemed like. But yeah, dude, the first one.
You're
dude,
right though.
so
Channing
good.
Tatum can't do an accent.
Dude, he cannot do an accent to save his life.
I wish they would have done his character with that one. And I love the first one, but for some reason, this is probably just me, and I'm probably the only one that's ever complained about it. But Samuel L. Jackson's lisp drove me crazy, dude. I don't know why. It just drove me nuts.
I've always wanted
I was
to
like,
know.
why?
I've always wanted to know if that was a him thing
I think so.
or if it was a studio thing.
I think he was like, I think my guy did that lisp.
And a really aggressive lisp
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I think it brought more because I mean they're over the top, high stakes, like people turning into like feral beasts with that signal. The second one, all the robotic stuff, like they really. The third one, the Rasputin stuff.
Yeah.
Like they really go for the moon.
Rasputin's
With
like,
everything.
but he's slicking his wound. I was like, ugh.
So they really do go like over the top with everything.
Yeah.
Like what was it? The Rams on the top of that mountain and everything.
Yeah.
Like they really.
Dude, that mountain climbing scene was bitching. I
Yeah.
was like, this is gnarly. And
Yeah,
then it
that was-
headbutts him, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it.
But I
You gotta
think
jump out of this airplane for me. I don't think I can do that.
so. I think that what they did was try to match the insane action with insane humor, and I
Okay.
think if it wasn't his idea, he clearly enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it was. I liked it because it brought more humor to like an insane bad guy, because he was like really over the top. But then he was also like, kind of like didn't want to get in the mix of all the bad guy stuff.
And then when he killed that guy outside of the,
He was like,
I can't remember his name. Yeah, it's the main guy, the butterfly guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah, when he shot
I'm forgetting his name.
Henry.
Henry.
No?
What's his last name? Because they call him by his last name.
Well, no, they call him.
Oh, they call him by the
code name.
code name.
Yeah, he was Galahad.
Galahad. Yeah.
Yeah, when he shot Galahad, but he's all.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Don't you just feel better?" He's like, "No, I don't feel better." Or, "No, I don't feel better."
Yeah.
Now, I really like the second one was a lot of fun too. I really like the main character guy, the kid, Eggsy. Yeah, he's cool. As an actor, I really enjoyed him.
Yeah,
He sold that character really well.
I don't know. It's one of those little things for me that I love so much. But in the second one, the fact that actor and the guy who's going to portray in real life,
the captain
are in the same movie.
Yeah.
Like it was really fun, and it happened years before.
Okay.
So I love that he plays Elton John in Rocket Man,
Okay.
and Elton John is the main captive
Yeah.
of the film.
Yeah.
He's fuck you,
Fuck you! Get out of my room! Get out of my room!
Elton John in that is so Wednesday. Isn't it Saturday?
Yeah. What day is it?
Wednesday.
Fucking exactly.
Elton John, dude.
He was really funny in it.
He's a hilarious human.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was in that is like,
That was great.
dude, this is so great.
Great captive.
Hilarious.
You were right about the whole when you were talking about the films, you were talking about the fact that the second one has a captive that I'm really gonna like.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it.
dude, he's wearing like the full regalia. Too.
Yeah,
like he's full Elton John.
Full Elton John. Yeah, playing piano. Yeah, it was great, man. And he's got his own stage with his own ball lighting and everything.
Yeah, just because she loved his stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
like which is hilarious because she's hooked on like the 50s, and he didn't really become a thing, I think, until like the late 60s.
Okay,
so it's like he was not making music in the diner era.
And
he was like very early rock and roll.
Something I really enjoyed about it, and this is just continuity wise, like I really enjoy when films present a question and then answer it. Like you're wondering like how the fuck did she kidnap Elton John, but then she talks about in the first one when all the celebrities are going missing and she captured him. Then she's like, during all the mix up, it was easy to get him.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like you got him when everybody was worried about. Yeah, like I like just that movie is
the biggest
with that.
The biggest British musician period.
Yeah,
I just snatched him up off the street.
And like it's cool because like the movies don't really miss when it comes to like there's no real like questions that are unanswered, and and anything that's over the top is like explainable.
Yeah,
like to a degree. Other than the his whip with the electricity, that was a little much for me, but it was still cool.
It's cool to watch.
It was fun to watch. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. It's like,
but there was a couple scenes
and it's retractable.
Yeah,
like the whole thing was a little.
Yeah, it was a little much.
Yeah, James Bond doesn't go that hard.
No, and for a whip, like, come on, there's so many other things you could have done. But I still liked it. And there was one specific scene when they're fighting in the diner, and he's doing like the rope tricks with it, and Eggsy dives through it feet first
through the lasso.
So sick, dude. Like I was like, that shot was awesome, and it was in slow mo, so it was like so worth it. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like all the fight scenes were so much fun.
My favorite one is still
not boring at all.
Is still the manners maketh man. That very first fight scene when he's locking the door. It's like manners, shklunk, maketh shklunk, man, shklunk.
Yep.
And then whips that freaking
beer glass.
The beer glass. Yeah. And then just starts mollywopping dudes. Yeah. Like that was I was hooked right there.
I love that they did it in the second one and he missed.
Yeah.
Because his eye.
He's missing an eye. Yeah. So he's like
and then then at the end of the third one, the villain says, "Manners maketh man." Mm-hmm. So you find out that he got it from the bad guy.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting full circle.
Yeah,
it's been a little while since I've watched the third one, so I don't remember a lot of it.
The reveal on him was like excruciating. So I was like, "Please show me who this guy is."
Yeah,
and then you find out it was the helper of the general. It was the general's helper, and I was like, "Ah." Yeah, it was a good twist. It was a nice twist.
They kept it very Inspector Gadget.
Yeah,
for like the whole film.
Yeah,
until he actually gets up there. On the mountaintop.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
I don't even remember what the stakes were in that movie. It's been so long since I've watched it. Like, there's.
What do you mean the stakes?
Like, what was happening?
Oh, they were trying to get the negative film for the president getting seduced.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was trying to. It was blackmail?
It was blackmail to get the United States out of the war, because the United States was gonna join the war, but then they blackmailed him with the tape, the seduction tape, and then he wasn't gonna join, and then he got the negative sent to him by the Kingsman.
That's okay. Yeah. I remember the end of that now. Yeah, he's just sitting there in like the Oval Office
with the peanut butter cookies.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds so good right now. He ate them last night, and I was like, "Oh!" I was like, "I want some peanut butter cookies."
So they're just like, my kingdom for some nutter butter.
Dude, I want a peanut butter cookie so bad now. I've been thinking about it all day, literally all day.
That's so funny.
I know. Oh, all day I've been thinking about it. But thank you for telling me. Well, I've known about them, I guess, for a while now, but I've never given them a shake because I was like, I'm over spy movies not being good, and
those are so much fun.
So much fun, dude. So much fun. They're up there with like GoldenEye for me.
Yeah, GoldenEye is fun. The game is way better.
Which one's the game?
The N64 GoldenEye. Slappers
only. The game, yeah, the game's way better.
Slappers
but I'm
only.
Talking movies wise, yeah.
Odd Job, who wasn't in that movie. See, I love spy movies.
I can't think of any that I've enjoyed recently.
Dude, Mission Impossible, bro.
Yeah.
God, I love those movies.
Yeah.
The first one has some scenes in it that I've never liked, and the basic premise of it always kind of aggravated me, that it was like kill off the entire team, and it's your boss is the bad guy.
We slightly talked about this.
Like, that always kind of bothered me, because they like undid the original, but the rest of it was really good.
Okay.
And then I enjoyed the rest of them.
The third one I really like. I really like the third one.
Dude,
just because we already talked about the actor, and I can't remember
Simon Pegg?
No. Is that Simon Pegg?
Is
The bad guy in the third one?
Oh, no, the bad guy. Oh, yeah, we did talk about this. Yeah, may he rest in peace. I can see his face.
He did die, didn't
Capote, because I said this the last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
He played Capote. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Thank you.
Took me a minute. Yeah, he was in Twisters.
Yes.
He was
in
the fun
guy.
dude in Twisters.
Yeah, I love him.
Drove the RV. He was an amazing actor.
Oh my god,
that dude was a huge talent.
Yeah,
and he was great in that. Yeah, that's when he kidnaps the wife. That's when the wife winds up almost dying.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah,
like dude, his delivery on
I'm not
lines,
gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah, his delivery
with his
on
like
lines,
pursed lips,
so fucking gnarly.
Dude, that movie's great.
That whole scene when he first gets captured and he's in the AC-130 with them, and he's like giving his plan for what he's gonna do. I was like on the edge of my seat to that. I was like, dude, this guy is terrifying. Nightmare fuel.
He was definitely up there for one of the best villains.
I think so.
And like he was probably the best villain in Ethan Hunt's entire storyline for sure. Dude, I freaking love those movies. Tom Cruise is a very strange human being.
Yeah. Scientology, baby.
And for a long time, I couldn't stand him or anything
I don't think
he
I
was
talk
in.
about that. Yeah. It gets canceled.
Yeah. I don't care. Come at me. Scientology.
No, don't. No, please don't. Please, God,
don't. Dude, at this rate, they're losing a lot of influential people when they're a little circle.
I watched a documentary about him recently.
Their whole freaking thing is a joke.
It's gnarly.
They were L. Ron Hubbard, a dude who wrote books,
science fiction
and
books.
Not good books.
Yeah.
Created a religion, and the only reason they're still a thing is because L. Ron Hubbard was smart enough to go, hey, let's not poison all of our followers, like all the rest of these guys, like Jonestown and all these other people. He's like the one cult leader who didn't decide to kill off all of his cult.
Yeah.
Just the only reason they're still a thing. Yeah, whatever.
It's wild.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is a very bizarre human. And I don't know, but his movies are good. And for a long time, I wouldn't watch his stuff. Like I watched Mission Impossible 1, 2, and then 3, and then took a break. And I was like, I can't do any of this guy's films anymore. And then, like, the Jack Reacher movies came out. They came and went, and I love those books. And I was like, he's not Jack Reacher. He's freaking 5'4". No thanks. And just kept moving, dude. And he was just putting out movie after movie after movie that all of my friends were raving about. And I don't remember why, but one day I sat down and I put on one of his newer films I hadn't watched. And I was like, that was really good.
Was it The Mummy?
I think so.
Really?
Because I love that movie. And I really liked him in it.
We talked about it a little bit.
I love that movie so freaking much. I wish that we were talking about this. I don't think, were we talking about this on this, though?
With Daniel.
Did we?
A little bit.
Like,
we got into, because you got into the monsters. Yeah.
The Universal monsters.
Yeah.
I would love a truly dark version.
Yeah, R-rated.
And I would love him to come back as the Mummy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because I loved that movie.
Yeah.
My favorite aspect of that film, and it's not like, I mean, it's story, but I think it goes beyond that, is that Tom Cruise playing that role, he was fun and funny. I love that, I just blanked his name. He played Nick in The New Girl, and it was his best friend in that movie.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise... I
blanked his name last week when we were talking about
him.
You
sure did,
okay.
Yeah. But
because I just watched a movie with him too.
Tom Cruise didn't play like action hero badass. He was fallible. He kept losing fights. He kept getting his ass whooped. He kept falling. Like, he was a very normal dude.
Yeah, regular human guy.
Yeah, regular human guy. He wasn't anything special. He wasn't like The Rock.
Not super powered. Yeah.
He's like, well, in all of, because The Rock in his contracts, he doesn't lose and he doesn't die.
Okay.
That's what he has in his contracts because he is so focused on his image. He will not lose a fight in any of his movies. That's in his contract. Like, I know I've shit on The Rock before, and I'm doing it again because I fucking hate that guy. But he won't lose a fight. He won't lose. Like, he will not accept that. He won't be in your film. And, like, because he's oh so humble. Yeah, stop worshiping this guy. But yeah, dude, like, he's a normal guy in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anyone could fall ass backwards into the situation he's in. And I don't know, stuff like that I really enjoy because in the world of, like, everyone's perfect and all this superhuman nonsense and like yeah, good movie's a good movie, fine, but try having some normal, relatable people in them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even like the Kingsman, Eggsy starts off as just a regular kid.
Yeah.
Like, he has to go through a
Regular
character
road man.
arc to, like, get past some stuff and learn how to do some stuff and get training. So that training's there. He doesn't just show
Character development.
Yeah, like, I love the story arc of that. Even though it's kind of condensed, but it's still there. Like, you still presume, like, all that torturous stuff that they have to go through, but, like, figuring out how to breathe through the toilets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
and him just punching the window.
yeah, and he's just over there. Just
That was a cool scene.
yeah, I love that scene. But that's the point. Like, he's not trained in all of these other things that all these other people think about, and, like, he just kind of sees a problem and he's got his way of dealing with it, even if it's not the right way, because he doesn't know another way, and they slowly teach him how best to do that. And I love stuff like that. Like, I love character development. But yeah, dude, I like the Mission Impossible movies. I think they're really good spy films.
It's been a while since I've seen them, but I know for a fact that I really love the third one a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen that one like multiple times.
Well, that's the one you bring up every time.
Yeah,
so yeah, I
really
believe
like
it.
I really like it.
Yeah, that's when Ving Rhames got a bigger role. Simon Pegg got a bigger role. Like, I love Simon Pegg's
The team really
character.
came together. Yeah.
Like, I am really happy they haven't killed him off.
Yeah.
Because I've been every movie I'm waiting
just
for
in the
it.
last one.
Yep. Yeah, he's been in almost all of them. I think he came in I think he was introduced in the second one.
Dead Reckoning.
And has been there for all of them, just like Ving Rhames. But his character, I love that his character gets more time.
Yeah.
Like in Fallout. Like, he's in a lot of that movie. Like, I do enjoy, because I mean, even in the, was it the third one? Was it the third one where you had to wear the bomb suit? I think that was the third one.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember a bomb suit.
So Simon Pegg's character, whose name is escaping me, has to wear a vest, and he's got an earbud in, and someone else is talking, and he's having to repeat what they're saying. And initially, it makes it look like he's the bad guy for like 10 seconds. You're like, oh no, like, he's the bad guy. And then it turns out he's got an earpiece, but he's wearing an explosive vest, and they're at like an outside diner. And I'm trying to remember if that's the third one or the fourth one.
I think it's the fourth one.
Oh, it's aggravating me. Mission Impossible 3. Dum 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 boom boom.
Doo-doo.
Let's see. Which one did Simon Pegg? Here, you know what? I think his name was Benny.
Benny?
Maybe. Benny wears bomb vest. Mission Impossible 3. No, maybe it was Rogue. Was it Rogue Nation? Oh, maybe it was Rogue Nation. I'm thinking of it because so it was a much later film. I'm thinking of it because I think in that one he sees his wife from across the water, because everyone thinks she's dead. Because in the third one they make it seem like she died, but like he only did that stuff to like protect her, and then that's when they separated. And then I think in Rogue Nation he actually sees her. He's like on a ferry and she's like a nurse. She's going out to dinner with some friends, and she sees him from across the way, and they just kind of like acknowledge each other, and then they keeps on trucking.
Oh, okay.
So everyone thinks that she's gone because he doesn't want her to be in that position again.
I gotcha.
So I do like that the normal spy movie thing, the tropes aren't necessarily always in those movies. Like, he's not sleeping with a new woman every freaking film like James Bond. Eggsy doesn't do that either. Like, he's very much committed to his lady. Like,
the princess.
Yeah, man. Like, that's awesome. Like
the butt stuff, princess.
Go save the world. You know what happens when you save the world.
No, I really enjoyed Kingsman, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Definitely gonna rewatch them.
Yeah,
definitely worth rewatching.
I think I'm gonna have to rewatch the third one because I haven't watched it since it came out.
I'll watch it with you.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch that one.
Yeah, the third one's fun.
Yep. Yeah, I was pretty sure that one was gonna be your favorite one.
A lot of really good stuff in it that I really enjoyed. But the first one is my
thought
favorite.
for sure the Rasputin thing would win you over.
It really did. Like I loved
become your
him. I
favorite
thought he was
thing.
awesome in it. His character was hilarious and like wild and
Over the
so
top,
eccentric.
Very What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, very. And he's a pope, which is like even funnier. And he's like obsessed with little boys and stuff. Like, dude, it's just like so over the top, the character, but he nailed it with the role. Like that guy did really good as Rasputin.
Yeah, he was the vizier.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Let's see.
The third one's the longest one.
Yeah, I think that's like a little over 2 hours.
Yeah,
or something
like that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I haven't really watched much of anything lately. What have been going on? You watched anything else, or was it just those?
I watched Collateral last week.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one in a while. It's
been a
Tom
while
Cruise.
since I've seen it. Yeah, that's why I brought it up. Yeah,
Tom
that's why I
Cruise
brought it
and Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise's gray hair.
Great story.
It's been so long. I just remember him making him drive around as he's hitmanning people.
Yeah, he's hitmanning people, and he kidnaps the taxi driver for $700.
Yeah.
It's all for $700. That's what's like so gnarly about it, because the more you watch the movie, like the more intense it gets, and like you're like, dude, you're doing this for $700.
So, who Jamie Foxx is doing it for $700?
Yeah, the cabbie.
But I
he
thought
was
he
like,
made him do it, or he
well,
was going to hitman him.
What happened at first is he was like, "How much do you get paid like a night?" And he was like, $300-400. And he's like, "Okay, I'll give you $700 to drive me around." And he's like, "I don't think I can do that." And Tom Cruise's character is like, I'm in town for a business meeting. I'm having to just meet all these clients. I need somebody to take me to JFK in the morning. Can you do this for me? And he convinces him to do it. And the first kill falls out of the window and lands on the taxi cab. So, and then he has to dispose the body, so they have to put it in the trunk. So then it turns into a kidnapping situation where he's like, "You can't go anywhere. I need you now."
Yeah.
And then the movie just progresses from there.
Yeah, dude, I haven't watched this since it came out, and that's like,
it's old. It's an old movie.
Dude, that's old. Man, what was that, like 06 or
like,
something?
Yeah, maybe 08, 2010.
2004.
2004. Wow. Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times, but I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, I haven't seen that in a while, so I watched it. And it's actually really good. The story is awesome.
Oh, I want to see if Changing Lanes is on somewhere. Have you ever seen Changing Lanes?
I don't think so. Who's that with? Tom Cruise?
No. That would have been funny, though. Changing Lanes was from 2002, and that's Sam Jackson and who was the other guy? Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Just the car thing, and then the same era with like high stakes in a car kind of made me think of it. A rush hour fender bender on New York City's crowded FDR Drive under most circumstances wouldn't set off a chain reaction that could decimate two people's lives, but on this day, at this time, a minor collision will turn two complete strangers into vicious adversaries. Their means of destroying each other might be different, but their goals ultimately will be the same. Each will systematically try to dismantle the other's life in a reckless effort to reclaim something he has lost.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun, but Collateral kind of, like, these two movies kind of remind me of each other. Like, they're not like the same thing, but they're similar enough that, like, yeah, it's
two guys in a car.
Well, two guys that wound up interacting because of a car.
Okay.
Like, and then stakes progress. Yeah. Like, so it just kind of, for something about that reminded me that I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but something about talking about Collateral kind of reminds
something
me
that sticks with you throughout the movie too. When you watch it, is in the very beginning, he meets a lawyer in the backseat of his cab. Jamie Foxx does, and then drops her off, and that's where he picks up Tom Cruise. And in the initial interaction is Tom Cruise walking up to the front window and going, "Can I get a ride?" And Jamie Foxx ignores him because he's putting her number, because she gave her number, and he's putting it up in his visor. and he ignores him, and Tom Cruise starts to walk away, and he calls him back. He's like, no, I got you, I got you, I got you. And like the whole movie, you're thinking, you shouldn't have got him. You should have just let him walk away.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, see, I love watching older movies. And that's,
So do
I mean,
I.
that's primarily what we've been
Doing.
talking about anyway.
Yeah.
With a couple of new ones, don't watch Long Legs. It's terrible. I'm going to say that till the day I die, dude. I'm going to try to, like...
Advocate, yeah.
I'm going to try to toss that into, like, every video.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't watch Long Legs.
even, like, because presumably...
I'm going to get you a t-shirt for Christmas that says, don't watch Long Legs.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk around. We might go to the mall and wear that. Go stand out in front of the movie
People are like, what's that? Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. That's the point.
Yeah.
But, like, even when I have, like, friends come on here that when we're talking about anything else other than movies, I think I'm still going to drop in a little don't watch Long Legs.
Don't watch Long Legs.
Just like a little subliminal. Boom.
Yeah.
Hit him with it. Because the movie's god-awful. Don't waste your time. It's the worst film ever made.
It was rough, man.
Yeah.
It was tough to watch.
I hope Nick Cage is happy with his paycheck because...
He probably got a good chunk of that, too, even though he was only in the movie for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, but they ran all the ad campaigns on him being the most terrifying version of himself.
Yeah, and he wasn't.
No, not by a long shot.
Not
He
by
wasn't.
a long shot. He was scarier in Face Off.
Dude, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's say when he was jacked for Face Off,
Yeah.
he was with his crazy ass Southern accent.
Yeah.
That was fake as hell.
Yeah.
But I love that movie.
That's
that
a
movie
good
holds
movie.
such a special place
It's
in
a
my
good
heart.
movie. I used to watch it with my grandma.
People
My grandma really
people
liked it.
clap on that movie all the time, and I'm like, hey, that's cool, dude. Like, I love it, and
Yeah.
I'll never not love it. Dude, Cyrus the
Had it on
Virus, and everything.
VHS, yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, that's great. See all these roses? Like, that's when you get introduced to Danny Trejo. Like, that was my first
Danny Trejo film.
Danny Trejo film that I can think of.
What was the one from Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah.
That was my first that I can remember.
I'm trying to think because I'm trying to remember which one I watched first.
Okay.
Because I think Dusk Till Dawn came out way before,
Okay.
but I don't remember. Like, I remember the first time I watched it. I don't remember what year it was in.
Okay.
And I liked it.
Dusk Till Dawn was friggin' awesome.
I
for a
liked it.
vampire
I
flick.
did not like any of the other ones.
There's more than one Dusk
Yeah,
Till Dawn?
there's like 4 of them.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
From
Oh, God, I've
Dusk
never seen them.
Till Dawn. 96 was the first one. Con Air.
That's with Mr. Clooney.
And Con Air was 97. So I watched those films very close in time together.
Okay.
Because From Dusk Till Dawn was out on VHS by the time I saw it. So I think I might have seen them in the same year.
Okay.
So which one I saw first, I don't
Couldn't tell
remember.
you.
But I do remember where I was at. And it's funny because I was at 2 different friends' houses each time I saw each film. So Con Air, I watched at Nick's house. And From Dusk Till Dawn, I watched at my then friend James's house. Like, because they each had the film. Yeah, dude, both great. Danny Trejo, all of my life from watching this dude in the mid to late 90s in his films, I guess late 90s, my entire life up until like 2 years ago, I thought that dude was like 6'3" and jacked.
No.
He's like 5'5".
Yeah. He's a short guy. He's in Predators, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plays the
But they
cartel guy.
always film him in a way that
They
he
look
looks
taller.
big.
Tom Cruise.
It's like Tom Cruise, bro.
Yeah.
He's like walking around with his apple box, just standing next to. Because I think Adrian Brody's pretty tall, and a couple of scenes.
He's got to be like 6'2".
I think so. And in a couple of scenes where they're near each other, like he doesn't look that short.
Did you get a chance to watch Playing God yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I want to. So Adrian Brody is 6'1".
6'1".
Yeah,
That was close.
So he towers
Over
over him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he's that much shorter.
No.
And Predators.
No.
But
He's always standing on the anthill.
yeah, but he is
Yeah.
a little dude. And what's wild is that little dude like was pretty high up in his prison.
Really?
Yeah, like I've heard like there's been because like he was in prison for like a long time. He actually got his break into movies by being a consultant on a movie accidentally because I guess he wound up partying with somebody or no he was doing the program and because he lived in LA where he was doing the program at, he wound up I think it was his sponsor was like in the movie business, and his sponsor had like a really good friend that was making a movie, and was like, "Hey man, it's a prison film. Like, you've been to prison. Like, I don't like, if you don't want to do this, just tell me, kick rocks. But like, he really needs a consultant, someone who's done time, like, and done some of these things. Like, would you mind just like meeting with him? If it works out, like, maybe you get a good job out of this." And Danny Trejo was also looking for like a job, and he didn't want to go back to like being a drug dealer. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll meet up with him, like, see what's up, like, because he's your friend and you're my boy, like, I'll sit down with him." So then he meets up with a guy, and he's like, "Okay, this is what I'm doing. You know, you want to come check it out? You know, see if you want to be a consultant." He's like, "Sure." So he starts off as a consultant, like teaching people how to be thugs in prison, but not like just inmates, but like cholos.
Yeah.
And he starts like mocking the hell out of their tattoos, and like, "No, that's not how you would carry yourself. Like, that's not how you'd behave." And just starts running through them. Well, he already had the big chess piece.
Yeah.
So after a little while of like teaching these guys how to like fight, because he was also like a badass boxer, like he was a prison champ, so dude can throw down. So he was teaching them all these things, and as the director started learning more about Danny, he was like, "No, I'm just going to put you in the film."
Nice.
So then he put him in the movie, and then from there his big tattoo became very iconic, and he just kind of went from there and just started getting more and more movie roles. He's never turned down a movie role.
Really?
Yep. He loves making movies.
He's been in a bunch of good ones.
If you look, I've done this once. If you look up his IMDb page, it is nuts.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think he's been in like 200 movies.
Jeez.
That's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like, how many movies does a director make on average in his career?
Right.
Like a dozen, if they're like really working.
Yeah.
Like if they're, and I don't mean like a B film guy, like a low budget guy. Like
how about like Guy Ritchie?
Yeah, like, dude, even Tarantino.
Yeah, 10 films.
And then he's done.
That's it. Yep.
No, he's directed some other things that weren't his. Like those are his movies. So I think his directing credits are probably close to 20-ish. That's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Danny Trejo's been in like, I think it's like 200 movies.
That's wild. I like him. I think he's a good actor.
He loves it. He loves it. Oh, I like him too. I just didn't know he was a short guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 5'5".
Yep, little dude. But yeah, I at some point, probably this weekend, sit down and watch Playing God.
Playing God.
But lately,
it's fun, man.
I didn't watch any movies yesterday, right? And didn't watch any movies the day before either.
No, because my mother is injured.
Yeah, because she wounded herself. So
herniated disc.
Yeah, messed up her back. So because of that, like 2 days ago, I mean, we were out here doing the AC, and then nothing the rest of the night. And
the only thing you really watched was with me, and that was the second Kingsman. And you were on and off on it because you were doing stuff.
Yeah, I was
watched it right here on this TV.
Yeah, right here. I was going through trying to do things with the studio and rearrange, make some shelving and stuff for some. I got a crap ton of LEDs and neons that I was trying not to ever get broken because
it looks good.
Dude, it's so hard to get neons repaired. But I don't want to, like, there's no place to hang them right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them just they take up a lot less space now. And now I've got all of my neons in one
spot location.
So just slowly trying to get my shop back to being 3/4 of a shop and 1/4 of a studio.
So, coming together.
Getting there. So I got to do a little bit out here today. Got some more stuff. Mostly cleaned. But like got what was left of the lumber out of here from making the shelves and kind of cleaned up my big bench a little bit. That bench is never going to get freaking empty, dude. Every time I emptied it, I start another project and then
fills up
and then start another project and then start another project. So eventually I'm hoping that this winter I can do another epoxy project.
Oh, okay. What do you want to do?
I'm still trying to figure out something for a table.
Oh, okay. Like an end table?
I thought about doing
for your snack table?
I thought about doing the end table in there, but I haven't decided what I want to do yet.
Okay.
So I'm like no, like inspiration hasn't taken hold yet.
Yeah.
Um,
The disassembled gun is pretty cool idea, but buying a gun just for that,
yeah,
hard.
yeah. I don't have.
And you
that
can't really
kind
do
of
a
money.
revolver because you can't really take it apart.
Yeah, there's only a few pieces.
Yeah.
You got like a cylinder, a pin. I mean, like you could really disassemble it and have like your hammer over here, your firing pin here, but it's all going to get lost in the mix. Like
Yeah.
it's better with an automatic. And outside of buying like a Glock,
Or a high point.
yeah, and I'm not buying it high point. I mean, I own a high point.
Do you really?
But it was a birthday present.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my first pistol. It
Nice.
was a high point 45.
Nice.
Yep. So it's not a Yeet Cannon 9 or whatever. Like mine's a 45.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a big brick.
Yeah.
Very reliable big
Have
brick.
you seen the rifle a high point puts
Oh,
out?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've fired one.
It's fucking ugly, dude. It's so ugly.
Dude, my 45 is ugly.
Yeah,
It's a brick.
I bet.
I've actually I I know a dude that has the original like it's the model that was before High Point. It's what it's what High Point is modeled off of because it's the factory that either High Point bought this company or this company created High Point.
Okay.
But it's the predecessor to the High Point, and it's all metal. It's all heavier. It's way bigger, and I've actually like held it. I haven't fired one yet.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the dude would loan it to me to go to a range day anytime. I just haven't asked him. But he brought it one day to a men's breakfast because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And he mentioned High Point. I was like, yeah, I got a High Point. He goes, what? And I was like, yeah, it's my first pistol. I got it on my 21st birthday. Like, my dad gave me a High Point. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because you really don't like me or you love me and just enough to give me a gun, but not like a really good one.
Yeah. No nice guns.
But I'm super, like, I'm grateful. I carried it for years. It was my everyday carry
Really?
for like 2 years.
Nice.
Because, I mean, I was a poor person, so
Yeah,
I
it was
couldn't
all
just
you
go out
had.
and buy a gun. Very reliable. Never had problems with it. I've never cleaned it. Like,
Really?
I've done like surface cleaning, but I've never disassembled that gun because I watched my dad trying to disassemble another one because he bought me, my brother, and my cousin High Points at the same time.
Okay.
So he gave my cousin, I think his was also a 45, and my brother got a 9. Now my brother couldn't like take possession of it for a couple of years or whatever, so my dad had it in a safe. But when we'd go do range day, he'd take it out for him. But me and my cousin were both old enough. My cousin's a few years older than me, so we got ours at the same time. And our birthdays are really close together, mine and my cousin. So, but he gave my brother his, like, we all got them at the same time. My cousin's birthday is early August, and mine's the last day of July. My brother's is in May, but he still gave it to him because he bought all three at the same time for us. So it was a really cool moment, really fun gesture. But then when we went out shooting, I mean, you've now been a part of range day. It's an all-day affair.
Yeah.
It's a lot of firearms, and it's a lot of cleaning all night.
Yeah.
And you've now seen I don't go to bed until all of my guns are clean.
Yeah.
Clean, lubed, stored. Like they're not just sitting around getting dirty. So we did a range day. We go back to my dad's house to do cleaning, and we're breaking down and cleaning, and we get down to the High Points. And I'm watching my dad disassemble this High Point. And I was like, what the hell? And it's not easy. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. He goes, you should really clean that. And I was like, I'm good. I'm not going through that hassle. Like, it took him a long time to get it torn
Really?
apart. Like, you've seen the breakdown on all my stuff. It's quick.
Very simple.
These are not. So I've never taken it apart because I never sat down to learn how to take it apart. And it's never jammed. It's never stovepiped. It's never had an improper feed. Never had an issue. And I fired every type of round you can put through it. I mean, steel casings, full metal jackets, hollow points. I've done it all.
Wow.
I've done some talons through it. It doesn't care. It'll eat them up.
Wow.
So
they're like $100, aren't they?
Very reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them real cheap if
Yeah.
you buy them used. Yeah, dude, Murphy's has got them all day long. Yeah, no, super inexpensive, but reliable. And if that's all you need, like, dude, there are smaller calibers, there are smaller physical guns, and there are less well manufactured guns that are 3 times as expensive as a high point.
Yeah.
Like, I mocked it for years, even though I owned it. I was like, man, like I can't believe I own this big ass brick. Like I bought a drop leg holster for it because it was just too much on my waist. And the drop leg holster is way too big for any other pistol I own.
Yeah.
Like I'd have to carry a Desert Eagle in order for it to make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I still got the holster, and whenever I take that gun out, I take that holster. It's big. It doesn't kick all that bad either because of all the weight of the slide, and it's a big. I mean, you've clearly seen videos of people with these. They're bulky, but I'm sure you've also seen torture test videos of dudes like dragging lakes with them and everything else, and they always fire.
Yeah.
They're a very reliable gun.
Yeah.
It's insane. Because you would think that it would just be jamming up every 10 minutes and all that, and then especially with mine never being cleaned.
Yeah, Demo Ranch does high point stuff all the time.
Yeah, dude. Like, I think he even shot one in the slide and it dented the slide a little bit, and it still fired.
Jeez.
And cycled. Like, but he shot it with another high point.
Something where he lit one on fire.
I think he was the same one that like tied off rope to it and threw it in a lake and drug a lake and then picked it up and fired it. Like he locked the slide open, drugged the lake, shut it and fired. And yeah, worked great. No problem.
That's wild. Maybe they're onto something.
Yeah, they're just bulky.
Yeah.
Like I love mine, but it's more of the
I didn't even know you had one.
Nostalgia of it all. Like, I mean, I've had it so long and it was a special gift. Like, yeah, dude, I'll never get rid of it. Like,
nice.
I love that thing. Yeah, well, I'll take it out one day.
Okay. I want to shoot it. I'll shoot a high point.
Yeah.
I haven't shot a 45 yet.
What's really funny, because I didn't take any 45s out last time. Just took out 9s. 9s and a bunch of rifles.
Yep.
But that's because I had a bunch of new 9s I never fired. Because there's nothing dumber than what I've been known to do is getting a new pistol and never taking it out for a range day and just making it your everyday carry. I'm like, well, I'm assuming it works. But I always get excited when I get something new, so I just immediately make it my new holster piece.
No,
like,
I get it.
So yeah, I had to take out a bunch because I hadn't done a range day in a while. So just got super busy, and then next thing you know, you're like, wow, I've got all these, and none of them have been fired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy that the Kimber 9 was so amazing. The Micro 9 is so amazing because I really want one for myself now. I thought for sure I was going to be able to commandeer that as soon as I bought it for her, and she barely let me shoot
it. She likes it.
She loves that thing. Like,
that's a 380, right?
No, that's a 9.
That's a 9?
Mine's a 380.
Yours is a 380?
Yeah, the Blue Sapphire is a 380, but hers is the Micro
I think I
9.
shot that one.
Yeah, I took it out there.
I think I shot it. I can't remember if I shot the blue one or not.
I think you did because I took it out there.
Okay.
Yeah, we took both, but everyone was firing her 9 the most.
Yeah, I shot it a couple times.
And that's right after I got my new SIG, so we fired that a bunch, and that thing was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, both SIGs were a lot of fun.
I think on Demos, one of his videos, they do like a freeze test.
Yeah.
And I think High Point was the only one that shot.
Yeah, that being frozen.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch FPS Russia?
Yeah.
So FPS Russia did one with a Glock that I'll never forget because I was watching FPS as he was doing
killed
his
himself
thing.
like 400 times.
Oh, dude, when he blew up that freaking Tannerite with that van, that door goes
flying right by him. Shitting bricks, buddy.
Yeah, but he went big.
Yeah.
So apparently my cousin went big too, but he did one with a Glock, and I've never been a Glock guy. Like I mean, I've never owned one. I've never fired one, so I know it's a bit it's a bit closed-minded to talk shit about a gun you've never fired. But he froze one in a big tub and then used another gun to shoot it free and then got it out. And I think he set it on fire to melt it once it was free of the ice. Everything, all the action was still frozen. So I think he set it on fire and then picked it up and fired away like no problem.
Wow.
And did a bunch of other torture testing with it, and I was like, I might get a Glock. And then I got a little bit older, and I was like, I don't know that I ever want to buy a Glock. I might still buy one someday. I just haven't. I saw one when I was buying the 357 that I almost bought.
Gucci Glock?
No, I would never own something like that. It's just so stupid. Yeah, the cocaine cowboy guns.
Yeah, buddy.
No thanks. It looked like a cow.
It looked like a cow.
A cow. It was black and white cow
print. Really?
Like, yeah, it was Cerakoted, black and white cow. And then what part of it? There was part of it that was pink udder. Like, yeah, dude, it was so ridiculous. I was like, but I really wanted the 30 super carry, so I bought the 30 super carry and the 357 instead of the Glock. And I was like, I might be buying a Glock right now just because it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
A cow Glock.
And your mom would have immediately stolen it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I came this close. But I saw that 30 super carry and I was like, I want that. So I bought a Smith & Wesson instead. But I was like, if I bought one Glock, it would probably be that one.
Nice.
Because it's the most ridiculous Glock I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, dude, a cow print Glock. Let's see if I can find a picture. I'm sure lots of people have done them. But it's the first one I'd ever seen. Cow Glock. Oh yeah, dude, the trigger was pink.
That's what I was wondering.
I was trying to remember. I just remembered part of it being pink like the other. Little Glock 19.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, damn, I might be behind a freaking Glock right now.
Yeah, my mom would have stolen that immediately.
Dude, she would have jacked this so fast. I never would have.
Oh, did you move the computer?
Hmm?
The computer that was under here? Did you move it?
Yeah, it's over here.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, the big body. Yeah, dude. I was like, damn it. I think I'm fine. I didn't, but I came. That's the closest I've ever come to purchasing a Glock. Was in that moment.
Nice.
And I think if it would have been cheap enough, I would have passed on the Smith & Wesson, and then I would have bought a damn Glock.
Nice.
I was like, no, I really wanted a 30. I need to buy this 30. And I didn't go there planning on buying the 30. I only went there to buy the 357. And then as he's writing up the paperwork, he happened to be where his little paperwork was setting. Right underneath him, just to the side, was that 30. And I was like, ooh. Yeah, I'm going to get that one too. And if I'd have had more money, I probably would have bought the Glock.
Nice.
I still might at some point. Just if I have the money, just go buy a cow Glock.
Nice.
What I want to do, though, is start building. Like, I want to get one or build one. And then they make a carbine kit for them. So you can turn it into a rifle. I've seen those. What's his name? The black dude with all the chains. He calls himself Rambo. Black Rambo.
I know who you're talking about.
I think it's Black Rambo. Has like 3 of them that he'd go out there and fire. They're all like custom Cerakoted or whatever, custom wrapped. I don't know. I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that, especially because it's so much cheaper than all the other conversion kits you can buy to turn a pistol into a rifle. Like, there's a lot you can do with a 1911. There's a few, like the SIG 5.7. There's a kit for the 5.7. But yeah, Glock just makes them cheaper, dude. Those Tupperware guns, you just get them super cheap. So we'll see. I haven't cracked yet, but I think someday if I find one cheap enough, that's wild enough, like a cow print for like $250.
The pink udders is pretty great.
It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
that was it's one of the most amusing firearms I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think someday I might get one.
I like it.
I won't have it long. I almost lost my blue Sapphire like as soon as I brought it. As soon as she saw it, because she went down because the micro 380, the Kimber. I put it on layaway, and I think like the second payment, I was clear across town, wasn't going to make it there. I was like, hey, can you please run over there and make a payment on that for me? She's like, okay, no problem. Well, they were like, she's like, yeah, I'm here to make the payment. And they were like, oh, we'll bring it out so you can verify that's the right one. And then she saw it. And she's like, oh, that is really pretty. I'm keeping that. And I was like, nope, no, you're not. That's going to be a safe queen. You're going to start chipping up the paint on it and everything else. No, thank you. So that's when I was forced to buy her a 9 because she fell in love with that 380.
Really?
Yeah. I'm the most ridiculous person with those micro guns too because I'm not a small person. So I act like it's the biggest gun in the freaking world.
Mhm.
I get all crazy and lean into it, all weird. And she gets pictures. She's got a few pictures of me where you can't even see the gun in my hand. And I'm like leaning into it like a 1970s cop movie.
Yeah.
Like leaning into it. So, yeah. Fun stuff. If you like guns, go get guns.
Yeah.
Buy a cow Glock because
Glock.
they're fun looking. I don't know anything about, like, I know people love their Glocks. The problem is their triggers suck. You need to get a trigger job immediately. And they've got their own weird problems. But there's the whole Glock gun guy that will never hear that they've got a problem with their gun. Yeah, they've got issues.
Yeah, people are very proud of their Glocks.
Yeah. And then they turn around and say
see a lot of Glock stickers and Glock t-shirts.
Freaking everywhere. I have one. I've got a
Really?
long sleeve. Yeah. I think my dad gave it to me when he bought something else. They gave him that shirt. He didn't buy a Glock, but he bought something and they gave him a shirt. And he was like, well, I'm never going to wear this. And he gave it to me. It's super soft.
Really?
Yeah, it's a long sleeve. I love I wear it a lot too when I ride because I don't ever go short sleeve when I ride the bike. Super soft, but I always zip my vest all the way up and keep it zipped.
Nice.
So no one ever sees it's got Glock all over it real big. I'm like, yeah, I don't need you thinking I'm carrying a Glock. But yeah, dude. Really looking forward to having money again so I can buy more fun stuff.
No, I get it.
Need Trump back in office. Got 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, baby.
3 weeks of ad campaigns.
I'm so over the ad campaigns.
Oh, I've been over them.
I am so over them. Yeah, and you're not at all into politics.
No. So I'm extra sick of them.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I'm sick of the repetition of the lies. Because
smear campaigns are just fucking boring.
They really are.
Like, I wish that people would stop doing that and just preach their politics. Like, I'd rather listen to somebody say what they stand for as opposed to, like, trying to shit on the opponent. And that's coming from somebody that doesn't care.
I agree.
It's just
if you have to hear it.
If I have to hear it, I'd rather you tell me what you stand for and what you believe in, as opposed to you just being like, this person doesn't like this. How are you going to vote for them? Blah, 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 blah.
I stand for freedom.
It's wild, dude.
It's simple as that. I stand for freedom.
And they're endless on fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why I have YouTube Premium this month. I have YouTube Premium this month specifically so I don't have to listen to them.
I've thought about it, but I'm not going to pay more money for yet one more thing. Just to, like...
Just for one thing.
Yeah.
I do it just for the ads. That's the only reason why I do it.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Like, I listen to a shit ton of podcasts on YouTube. So, like, most of, like, my entertainment is from YouTube.
Mine, too.
And I get sick of ads so
Same.
quickly.
Here's what's worse. So, where I've been working for so far all week when I'm at work so I'm up on the Tucson Mountain. And it's where all of our broadcast towers are. So I have to go up there all the time, and we're doing a bunch of work up there. So it's where all of iHeart is, KGUN 9 News, like KMFM, like KMFM, like all Telemundo. Like, you've got a ton of TV and radio broadcast out of this place. And because it's the highest point in Tucson that you can broadcast on either side of the mountains. Mm-hmm. So I'm up there. Signal sucks. Like, it is so freaking spotty to get any kind of signal that I know, like, the 2 spots that you can kind of keep signal if you stay stationary. So I park my truck there. I leave my phone in the truck plugged in while I'm listening to stuff, and I'm 40 feet away from my truck working on stuff.
Do your headphones work that far away?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I guess that's one of the benefits of, like, $200 headphones.
Yeah, dude. Jabra Elites. Stay away from
40 feet. That's crazy. Mine get, like,
on the other side of a block wall.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, yeah, so
mine get like 20
with interference. So Jabra Elites, this is not a paid ad. I don't get paid for anything. I'm spending money doing this. Stay away from those freaking, what are the other ones that all the people are pushing right now?
The Raycons.
And I've owned a pair, and they're not that great. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to crap on them too bad, but there are certain features that aren't there, and there are certain features that would be really awesome if they were there. Mm-hmm. They're more annoying. I love Jabras. I've owned almost every model the Jabras ever had. The one annoying feature about I'm using the 8s, the Elite 8s. They introduced with the 8s, they introduced one key feature that I freaking hate, and just because it's super annoying. Like, I work with my hands. I can't always be on my phone. I almost can't ever get to my freaking phone. So skipping ads is already a pain in the ass. But these headphones, as soon as you put them in, automatically go into hear through.
Yeah, you were telling me about
every
this,
time. Yeah. And the left earbud, a single click will let you cycle through the settings. Every time you get a phone call, they automatically always, and you can't turn this off, always go into noise cancellation, which then gets annoying. And then as soon as the call ends, it goes back to hear through.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't go back to what you had it set at.
Yeah.
So that's super annoying. And every time you get and right now is the season of 1-800 numbers calling you for everything. I can't tell you how many surveys. Like I answered a call for a survey yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, and the lady was like, I had a few questions, and she's like, is this you? Yep, this is me. Are you registered to vote? Yes, I am. There was like one other kind of silly question, and then the last question was, are you or anyone you're related to part of a political campaign? And I was like, yes. And she's like, okay, that's all my questions, thank you. And I was like, wow, if I would have said no, and I lingered for a second, I almost said no just to see what would happen, because I think by me saying yes, she was like, okay, I can't ask you any more of these questions, and ended. She didn't ask me which campaign. She didn't ask me anything.
She just asked.
She just asked a campaign, a political campaign. Like, for all she knows, I'm like helping out, some random person trying to get into whatever. There's no idea what I'm part of. And I didn't say. So then that was it. I was like, damn, if I get another one of these. And it came up as survey. So I answered it. I was like, man, I haven't gotten one of these yet that I've answered. So anyways, so every time it calls, it just changes my stuff. It gets super annoying. I have to take my gloves off because they're gross and press the button to go back to normal. What's even worse, though, is when you're listening to a really long podcast, which is what I like. I like long form, which is why we do long form. Like today I was listening to, it's a few days old, but it's Andrew Schultz's video of the aftermath of having Trump on. So I was listening to that. Well, it seems like every 4 minutes there's a freaking ad. I'm way away from my truck and I'm running torches. I can't exactly drop what I'm doing, walk all the way over to my truck, skip the ad, and come all the way back. So that's where it bites me in the ass, not being willing to pay for it. But I already pay for everything freaking else. I don't want to have to pay for this too. So it's on me, but it's super annoying. But the ads, dude, and half of the ads are full of shit anyway. Like, I'm someone who follows this stuff very closely, and 90% of them just annoy me because they're all taken out of context. They're all half-truths at best. And it's like, oh, you believe Carrie Lake? She's this devil person. It's like, that's not entirely true, so that's annoying. Like, yes, I'm on her side, but I'm capable of removing myself from a situation and hearing the other side and be like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, I love Trump. I've voted for him twice. I'm voting for him a third time. I work for his campaign for free. I'm a volunteer, but still, like, I very much support the man. Does he have flaws? Absolutely. Like, but this isn't a freaking popularity contest. This is who runs the nation. This isn't about who you like better. Oh, that guy just pisses me off. I don't like him. You don't have to like him. We had him for 4 years. In those 4 years, I made really good money, got paid well, customers were spending money, I was doing well, I was able to get a house under him, like everything. I was buying big expensive trucks, like money was flowing in really well, everything was cheap, gas was under $2, so I was able to drive a very expensive gas guzzler over, for what's that, 1,100 miles, so it's 2,200 mile road trip in a truck that only gets like 9 to 10 miles a gallon. I could afford it without an issue. I can't afford to drive that truck to the grocery store right now with almost $4 freaking gas. Like, it's nuts. Right now it's just under $3, thank God, but it's too damn expensive. Tires on that truck are like $1,200 for all 4 tires. Like, dude, this sucks. Like, I'm losing my ass everywhere I turn around bread's expensive, milk's expensive. Literally everything has quadrupled in price over the last 4 years. That alone should be all you need to know. We've had 4 years of this person, 4 years of this person. Were you better under these 4 years or these 4 years? That's it. Cut out all the other bullshit. Get rid of all the other nonsense. Like Kamala Harris right now is running her biggest thing because she needs women to come out and vote for her, is pushing the abortion stuff to overturn it. And that's why we get all these ads. Oh, Carrie Lake, she does this, she does that. They need women to come out and vote Democrat down party just to get the votes in. First off, it was overturned to the states by the highest court in the land. For you out there who don't know and who aren't following everything, and you're a single policy voter, maybe look into doing research. The same judges are in the Supreme Court that just overturned Roe v. Wade to the states. They didn't make it illegal. That's your state. You need to get out and vote in your local elections. Maybe wake up. But she'd have to go back to the same judges and convince them to overturn what they just did a few years ago. They're not going to do that. She has to go through Congress, the same Congress, generally speaking, that just did this, and convince Congress to send it to court. Like, none of the people involved are going to overturn this. So it's low information voters are hearing these ads and soaking it up and believing it. What's not going to happen. So you can vote all you want for the single issue, but just understand, if you're voting for Harris because of Smorshmans, you're screwed. If she gets in, you're going to continue paying bare minimum what we're paying now for every good and service that you're paying for. So, like, this bottle of water, these packs of these waters are going to continue being $6 instead of going down to $3. Like, everything. Gas is going to continue being expensive because she can't decide which side of any aisle she's on. She ran on being against fracking and drilling for oil back in 2019 when she was running as candidate, and was the first person to get kicked out because she sucked so bad, by Tulsi Gabbard, who is an amazing, strong woman who was on the Democrat side of the aisle, and I like her very much. She was running on all this anti-oil stuff. Making gas cheap is the first thing you can do to lower cost of literally everything. You don't have to like Donald Trump to enjoy cheap gas prices. And cheap gas prices that's lowering gas prices across the board, including diesel, which is what all of our trains run on and all of our rigs run on. Everything runs on diesel. Diesel cost being cheap makes everything else cheap to deliver and makes everything cheaper in general. Run on cheap fuel. That's all you need to run on. And if people would just wake up and realize what can be changed and what can't, we'd be okay. So that's where it gets really annoying for me, hearing the same ad over and over and over. Is 90% of it is total bullshit to begin with. It's just smearing somebody, and half the time it's something that can't be changed no matter who you vote for anyway. Whether you vote for Trump and he decided to undo what he did with Roe v. Wade, the same people have to undo it, and they're not going to. Or you vote for her. In either case, it's a moot point. It's not going to change. It's not going away. Vote for whoever the hell you want. That problem is still a problem in the eyes of the people that it's a problem for. Like, I'm very much pro-lifer, but I'm also not a woman. So I've always been kind of cautious with my opinion on that issue. I'm never going to go through that. My wife's never going to go through that. It doesn't really affect us. So we're kind of quiet about it, other than our personal beliefs. But I don't care about that issue. I want cheap fuel. I want cheap groceries. I want cheap parts. And I want things made in America. Otherwise, I want freedom. Like, leave us the hell alone. Let us make our own decisions. Let us decide if we want to be able to smoke indoors. Don't leave that up to your state. But, yeah, dude, I'm so sick of the ad. But that's the one I see the most, is the smooshman nonsense. It's like, dude, you know how many, like, that's such a small percentage of people that care about that enough to get out and vote. How about cheap way of living? I'd like to be able to buy more 2A products. And I would like to have a president in office who supports the fact that we have the Second Amendment. That's what I'm about, dude. I'm about freedoms. Like, leave us the hell alone. Like, whatever. That's just me. Yeah, I can't wait for the ads to go away. Even though I like following the politics, I enjoy going to look for the topic and choosing to click on the person talking about that topic. I don't think it should be in everyone's face. Like when we're chilling trying to watch RC videos, I don't want that ad to pop up and take me out of the fact that I'm watching someone fly an RC plane.
Yeah, well, your escapism.
Yeah, like you're bringing me back into real life, and I'm doing this to avoid real life.
Yeah.
So, dude, I cannot wait for the 6th.
Yeah,
I just want it over, dude.
They're all done. And then there's only 3 days till my birthday.
Yep. So it's gonna be nice
4 days.
when it's
3 days. 3 days.
3 days, dude. 9th.
Yeah. I had to
6,
count it
9,
out.
3
I had
days.
to count it out. I had to count it out. I had to use my fingers.
Yeah. Slip off my slides and look at my toes.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's just the whole world is upside down right now.
Shout out to Crocs.
Yep. So
Both wearing them.
That's why I've been talking more about movies and trying to watch movies.
Yeah, no, it's fun, man.
Yeah, and then the horror films have been really fun to get into.
They have. Watched a few good ones in the last week.
Yeah, because, I mean, other than the ones I talk about every video, which I'll try not to name now, like I don't really watch a lot of them. I kind of rewatch those same ones.
Talking
Talking about my boy that changes with every film. Talking about Scream.
Oh, Scream. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Scream.
I
Are
thought
like
you were talking
the only,
about Long
like,
Legs. I thought you were trying to avoid talking about it.
God, no, I hate Long Legs. I'll never watch that film again.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
it sucks that you can't delete it from your library.
dude, I could, but I'm not getting my money back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, I could make it disappear, but I can't make that $20 magically reappear in my bank
yeah.
account. I wish I could.
Call them and be like, this movie sucked. I want a refund.
Yeah. What really, and that's on, this is the shitty thing, dude. If you go on to Google Play, which is where I buy all these digital videos, and I do it mostly out of convenience. I would much rather buy them on Blu-ray and just own them forever and not be at the whim of, I mean, like, because they've been systematically deactivating their app and moving everything to YouTube.
Oh, really?
So, like, Back to the Future, a couple weeks ago, I guess it was like a month ago now, I was like, I want to watch Back to the Future again. So I went in to go watch them. The first one is in Google Play for me in my library. The second one didn't exist in my library. Like, it said that I own it. Like, the screen was there, and I'd click to watch it, and it wouldn't load the video. It said couldn't load the video. I'm like, what the hell? Well, then after like an hour of searching, I finally found out that they're migrating everything. I can go to YouTube, type in any movie I own, it'll pull it up, and it shows that I own it, and then I can watch it through YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't exactly make big announcements about what they were doing with the plan. They just said that they were going to get rid of it. Like, well, don't get rid of it. I've sunk thousands of dollars over the last like 10 years into buying films on this because it's convenient. And I'm taking this everywhere. I can't take my DVDs everywhere. Like, and most of the time when we travel, I take a Chromecast with me and plug it into wherever we're at so I can watch our movies. Well, they're also getting rid of Chromecasts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I've got Chromecast here. I've got Chromecast in the bedroom, Chromecast in the living room. Like, I take Chromecasts everywhere. What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Like, how it used to be, because I lived on the road a lot for work back in the day, back when I was just a single guy. The older phones, I bought a that would plug my phone into an HDMI on a TV, and then I would just hardwired mirroring my phone to my TV. So I was able to take my library everywhere I went, and every hotel I was in. I can just plug that in, watch my movies. Like, and now I'm not stuck watching whatever garbage is on TV and just channel surfing all night until I fall asleep. Like, I can actually be like, oh, I want to watch this thing.
Yeah, you gotta watch commercials when you do that. Ugh.
Yeah, dude, screw that.
Ugh.
Unless it's Shark Week, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So, then they went away with that.
You can watch Shark Week on fucking Netflix now.
I know, dude. So rad.
So rad.
But back in the day, you had to have.
Oh, I know.
You had to,
Trust me, I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when we traveled.
Yeah.
That was always the time to watch it.
Yeah, dude.
We'd be in San Diego, and I'd be like, "Where's Shark Week at?" They're like, "The water's right there." I'm like, "I don't care."
Yeah, but those sharks bite. These ones don't bite me.
Yeah, they don't bite me.
They're biting other people. But yeah, dude, and they got rid of the ability to transfer files from your phone like that, so you couldn't do it anymore.
Lame.
And then they started bringing up, well, then you have to have Wi-Fi, you have to have a receiver, you have to have a smart TV. Not all hotels had smart TVs yet. Like, it made it more and more complicated. So it gets to the point where I'm just doing this while trying to eat in my hotel room.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this sucks. I've got a 42-inch TV right here.
There. Yeah.
And I'm stuck with this.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I get it.
So, anyways, this is the only reason I still have a smartphone is the ability to watch things. Otherwise, I'd be flip-phoning it for the rest of my life.
Guilty. Yeah.
Like, my favorite hobby, and it used to drive your mom nuts. Now she gets it and she respects it, and it'll sometimes annoy her if she can't get a hold of me. But I love leaving the house without this. I just leave it in the house, take off, go shopping, go do whatever I'm going to do, come back home. Used to drive her nuts because she'd try to text me to ask me to pick something up while I was gone. I'm like, she's like, you didn't get my text. I was like, no, it's because my phone's in there on the table. She's like, what? And then she started realizing, and she'd like go looking for my phone. She'd text me, and then if my phone went out, she'd be like, damn it. I'm like, no, you sent me out with a list. I came back with everything on that list. It's not my fault. You tried to call an audible.
We got to go
while
tomorrow.
My phone was here. Yeah, I got to go hit up the old Sam's.
Yep, I'll go with you.
Yeah, she asked. She was like, hey, can you go to Sam's tomorrow? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather go tomorrow than Friday.
Yeah.
Like, Friday always sucks there.
Yeah, busy.
But that's fine. I don't mind going. Like, I wish there was more to look at because I'm like there every week. So it's like, it's the same stuff. Start cycling some things. They did rearrange all their electronics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't have near as many TVs out right now, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, especially for holiday season coming up.
Yeah.
You would think that they would have them out more.
I think they'll change that, but yeah, they've added a bunch of electronics. They got rid of a few. I'm like, well, this is kind of
I want to see the Steam Deck competitor you're talking about.
Yeah, I came real close to buying one. In the only reason I
want
didn't.
A Steam Deck really bad.
The Steam Deck's really cool. This other one,
pricey.
Yeah, this other one was a little cheaper, and it had features the Steam Deck doesn't. Like, I went down this whole rabbit hole. I guess like 4 or 5 months ago now, looking into which mobile deck I might want, because I was like, I really want a mobile deck, because I went back to playing the PSP for a while. So I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool to be able to just have a modern deck. And so I kind of went down the rabbit hole looking into them and came real close, and then decided I was going to get into cameras instead, and started spending all my money on cameras and lenses and everything else. And then now we're here with all these electronics. You at home can't see, but there's a lot of electronics in this room. Way more screens than I ever thought I'd have in here too.
Yeah, 3 of them.
So I didn't wind up getting one, but I still might. I'll have to look up which one it was again. And if I could remember whose videos I was watching, I could even send you those, because they go deep into which system was better, because they each have their own merits. And the Steam Deck didn't win out for me. I was looking at the other one. I just don't remember why, because I kind of forgotten all of that to try to download all of this information, and I still fall short sometimes. Like our last video had weird audio problems, and it took me a while to kind of pseudo figure out how to fix it.
I think we got it.
So I think so. I hope so, because then that means it's not a problem in my board, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, because I'd be really bummed if this board winds up crapping out on me. And
did you take Tuesday off to help my mom?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was off all day Tuesday. That's why I wound up napping on the couch.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before.
I came out, and I was like, oh, Randy's here.
Yeah,
and he's sleeping.
Dead to the world, dude. And I felt it coming, too. So she hurt herself at like 5 while we were doing the AC work out here. And then the rest of the day, like, I was like, you should really go. And she would not go to ER. So then wound up being up really late, like trying to make sure she was good, trying to get her comfortable. And like, I'd fall asleep, and then I'd wake up to her being like, ow, like screaming in pain. So then I woke up a lot. So I was running on very little sleep. And then she wakes me up super early, and she's like, we need to go to the ER. And I'm like, I know. So hit up my boss and was like, hey, dude, can't make it today. He's okay. And then took her in, and we were there for a couple of hours. ran MRI and all that other fun stuff to find out exactly what I told her the night before was what was wrong with her, and all the same information I told her on how to fix it. And then got her roids and her 800 milligram Tylenols, and then came home, got her comfortable. I think we ate a little bit, and then I got her in, laid her down and stuff, and then waited until she told me her meds were here, and then went got her meds and came back, gave her meds, talked about that stuff, and I was like, all right. Like, I think I might have crashed out before I went and got her meds. I think I was like, we were watching something, and I reclined back, and I was like, yep, here it comes. And I was like, I'm going to sleep. She's like, okay. And I'm dead to the world for like, I was like 2 hours or something like that.
Nice.
I was
Good
just
nap.
out.
Yeah.
And I don't get to nap very often. So I slept hard. And then woke up and went and checked on her. And she woke up because the dogs went nuts. I was like, hey, are your meds ready? She's like, yep. I was like, perfect. Went and got them. And then didn't get a lot of sleep last night either because the same problem. Like, she's up and down and a lot of pain. I'd have to like help her get back because my bed's really high off the ground and she's not very high off the ground as a person. So I'd have to like help her get her back up into bed and stuff. And then she got up at like 2:30 and like didn't go back to bed. Like sneaking around on me doing chores. Pissed me off.
All day today I was trying to help her, and every time I would ask, she'd be like, no, I'm fine.
She wonders why I'm not nice.
Yeah.
She's like, why are you mean to me? She said that the other night. I think it was last night. She's like, why are you so mean to me? I said, because you don't listen when I'm nice. Lay your ass down. Like I had to force her to go lay down at one point. I was like, no, it's because you don't listen to me when I'm like, hey, babe, please go lay down. I'm acting like a little punk. You don't listen. You walk all over me. When I get angry and I'm like, lay your ass down. Tell me what you need. Otherwise, you stay here. She's like, okay. And then I wake up at like 2:30 because the dogs are kind of acting weird. So I get up and the lights are on. So I come out to check on what's going on. And she's in there like folding my pants. I got pissed, dude. I was like, what are you doing? Laundry. Laundry is one of the things on the list that they very specifically say don't do. It's very big, bold, black letters printed. No laundry. And you're in here doing laundry. Like, I don't need clean pants right now. I got lots of them. Like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I don't want to just be laying around. I feel lazy. You threw your damn back out. You feel lazy.
Yeah.
It's not been quite 24 hours and you're acting like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going back to bed. So I went back to bed. So I didn't get a lot of sleep either. But yeah, I was off all day Tuesday. She said she didn't need me today, so I went back to work. But yeah, she was like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to lay here. And then I was texting her all morning. I said, your ass better be laying down, chilling.
She laid down all day.
She sent me pictures, like of her laying down with the dogs all around her legs and stuff. So I was like, all right. Like, so whenever I had signal, I'd send her a message. Like, you still chilling? But I didn't want to bother her too much just in case she was sleeping.
Yeah.
Because I've done that a couple of times. I've texted her, like, and when she's sick, she's like home with a bad migraine or something. Text her, see how she's doing. And she'll be like, well, I was sleeping. And I'm like, damn it. I shouldn't have texted. So it's like this weird hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want her getting upset that I'm not checking on her, but I also don't want to be the reason she's not sleeping.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, wounded warrior in the house.
Yeah. Should be back. Should be good by like Monday.
No, she won't.
I think so.
No, that's 4 to 6 weeks to come back from that.
Ooh.
She got pissed when I went in to check on her earlier. Yeah, I was like, hey, how you doing? Because I kept forgetting shit in there. Like, I went in there to go help her get up into bed when she went and laid down after dinner. And I left my mod in there. And then she yelled for me. So I went back in there to go get it. And she was like, 2 to 3 weeks? I was like, 2 to 3 weeks for what? She was, before I feel better? I was like, no, 4 to 6. And she's like, son of a bitch. She's getting all mad. But she was Googling how long it'll take for her to feel better. And I'm like, take even longer. You keep doing laundry
Stuff, yeah.
Like, you keep doing stuff, it's gonna take even longer. And she's like, oh, and I was like, you're being mean. I'm like, no, I'm being for real. You need to understand your body needs to chill and relax. And every time you're picking stuff up and leaning way over the freaking, because she can't reach the bottom of the washer. Like, it's too tall and too deep. She's always having me go in there and get stuff when it's a small load. Like, you keep doing that, it's just going to keep stressing that out and keep the inflammation higher to take even longer. it's a mild injury. Like the MRI and everything came back. Like they were like, no, it's pretty mild. Like, but you keep doing this, you're gonna make it worse and worse and worse. You chill out. But yeah, 4 to 6 weeks.
Jeez.
She doesn't want to hear that. She doesn't want to believe the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, that sucks.
I think she'll be like moving better a lot sooner than that.
Mm-hmm.
But before all the discomfort's gone and the inflammation's down and everything's kind of back to where it should be, it's going to take her a little longer.
Could you imagine herniating a disc in like the Middle Ages?
Oh, dude.
You're fucking done, dude.
Yeah, that's a bullet.
They bury you.
Yeah. Like,
they're like, you're out, man.
I'm not dead yet. Sure you are. Shut up. Bring out your dead.
Is there anything you can do about this?
Bring out your dead. Yeah, that's all that comes to my mind, dude. Is Monty Python. Yeah. He's like, I'm not dead yet. Sure you are. Shut up.
I feel happy.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah, dude. I'm surprised I haven't done it because I've pushed my body to some like real extremes a couple times in life where I'm like, yeah, I can lift that. And I'm like, no, I can't lift that. I'm surprised I haven't done that kind of compression to myself yet. I'm hoping I stay smart enough to not do it.
It takes doing something the wrong way to do something like that.
It doesn't take much to do it. Like, she didn't take
was
much
just picking
for
up
her
a
to
dog, yeah.
But she did it in the exact wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's what I was saying, yeah.
Like, way wrong way. Like, the most wrong way you could pick up anything. That's how she did it. So, like, lifting with her neck. So, yeah, I just need, if you're listening to this, woman, because she does listen to these, and she might listen to these to get through her day. I don't know. She does weird things. Keep your ass chilling. Stop trying to do everything.
Yeah.
She got really mad. She's like, I'm doing everything. I'm like, you're not supposed to be doing anything. There's other people in the house. Just start barking at them.
That's what I tried to tell her today.
Like, start barking at them. Like, I came out, and she's, like, crying almost. I'm like, what's up? She's like, I'm in a lot of pain. I was like, I know. Go lay down. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I just went out and fed the chickens and did their waters. Yeah. What?
I already told her to tell me to.
Like, there's other people in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's headstrong.
Yeah.
She won't listen.
Stubborn.
Freaking women. I'm Batman. Anyways, so this is a nice long rant about movies and other things.
Yeah.
If you hung out this long, congratulations. You win a prize. Your prize is another episode probably tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Got any homework?
I don't know. Let's see. I haven't thought about this. I've been so caught up with everything else.
There's a couple I gave you that you got to watch. Experiment, Playing God.
I'll definitely get around.
There was one more.
Playing God, I'll definitely watch this week.
You got to watch The Experiment too.
I will, but I don't know if that's one that your mom's going to be interested in or not. She might. So,
I think she would be.
So we'll see. Let's see your stuff. Let's go through the list here. Because let's see. Looking for a classic. So many movies. Okay. So you just watched Attack the Block. I know you've seen a handful of these that I'm running across. Bullet Train. That movie's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
I love that movie.
The Bullet Train guy, Lemon, is in the third Kingsman too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Very short role, but he's in it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He came on screen, and I was like, I know that guy.
Oh, have you watched Cooties yet?
No, I haven't. Do you have it on there?
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, I'm going through my list right now.
I haven't watched it yet.
So, Cooties.
Okay.
Man, so many good movies. Ooh, Down and Out in Beverly Hills. That's a fun one. Trying to find some good classics in here. Yeah, Cooties, though, especially this month. Cooties is a great one to watch. How do you spell fired up?
F-U.
Let's see. Have you ever seen Flight of the Phoenix?
I don't think so.
Dennis Quaid?
I don't think so.
You should watch Flight of the Phoenix. That's what it looks like.
Flight of the Phoenix. Okay.
Yep.
War movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Really good. It's very early Tyrese Gibson film.
Okay.
Like it's 04. So it's very early in his rise to movies. But it's also got Giovanni Ribisi.
Okay.
He's always a really creepy. He's kind of a weirdo as a person, from what I've heard.
Really?
Oh, actually, dude, if there's a show, I'm trying to remember what that one was on. What streaming service? Amazon. Sneaky Pete with Giovanni Ribisi.
Okay.
So much
I love him
fun.
in Gone in 60 Seconds.
He's great in everything. He's just kind of a weird dude. Like,
I love him in Ted, dude. When he does when he's like,
oh yeah. He was great in. Did you ever watch Boiler Room?
No.
Oh, dude, Boiler Room's great.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it's of an era too. Like, kids today would never understand it. So you remember like the basic premise, and I don't mean all the wild shit, but the basic premise of I just blanked the freaking. I could see like them throwing the midgets and everything at the dartboard.
Wolf of Wall Street?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's very much so the same era that all of that was happening in, because I mean, Wolf of Wall Street's loosely based on a true story.
Yeah.
Of a dude that Leo actually partied with and was friends with.
Oh, cool.
So he played the guy that was actually his friend. So at that era, the early 2000s, when the Wall Street boom was kind of kicking off and people were getting into all these crazy like ways to rip off the system, Boiler Room is the same thing. Boiler Room is basically the Wolf of Wall Street before the Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't have the crazy like drugs and strippers and all the other wild stuff that he did, but it's still the same setup of a Wall Street business, brokering, all these crazy deals.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in it. Ben Affleck is in it. It's got a huge cast, but it's one of Vin Diesel's early movies.
Boiler Room.
That's 2000.
Oh, wow.
So very early Vin Diesel. Yeah, here we go. Welcome to the infamous Boiler Room, where 20-something millionaires are made overnight here. In the inner sanctum of a fly-by-night brokerage firm, hyper-aggressive young stock jocks peddle to unsuspecting buyers over the phone and are rewarded with mansions, Ferraris, and more luxury toys than they know what to do with. In this unassuming Long Island enclave, Gen Xers chase the green at breakneck speed, sometimes one step ahead of the law. So it's very much Wolf of Wall Street before, but it's about the same stuff, because Wolf of Wall Street wasn't the only, like, that business wasn't the only one, but Jordan Becker wasn't the only one doing this.
Yeah, no,
there were a lot of other people doing this. Dude. So it was like the quick get rich quick scheme of the day. And
yeah, that's why Wall Street's such a shitty place.
Oh, dude, it is so scummy.
It's all scums.
But the cast, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Giovanni Ribisi is the main guy you're following. Vin Diesel, Ben Affleck, Nicky Katt, Scott Conn, Nia Long, Tom Everett Scott. He's been a ton of stuff. Ron Rifkin, Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, dude, it's got
pretty good cast.
Yeah. Like, and then a bunch of other dudes that like you'll recognize on sight, but you don't necessarily know their names. Yeah, that one's fun. I really enjoyed it. I loved that movie when it came out. I know I have it on DVD.
Okay,
but
I'll look for it.
I don't think that I've got it on anything.
Will you
else.
do me a favor? Will you show me how to take movies out of the PlayStation, so I can take out the longest hour? I don't know where the button's at.
Little button.
And I don't want to fuck. I don't want to because it's mounted up on the wall, so I don't want to like mess with it at all because I don't want to knock it off.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Because I definitely have that capability.
Yeah.
Of like breaking it, doing nothing.
Boiler Room. Let's see if it's available anywhere. Boiler Room movie. Oh, it's nowhere for free. All right. We'll have to dig.
Must be that good.
Dude, I love that movie. Let's see. Just going back through here. Man, I got a lot of fun movies I really enjoy watching. Greedy People, dude. That movie was so nuts.
That was really good. I saw it
on the list.
On the list yesterday, and I was like, damn, I want to watch that again. It was really good. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, was awesome in it.
Harvey. Have you ever seen Harvey?
Let me see that.
It's from 1950.
Probably not.
God, I freaking love that movie. Heart Condition is great. Dude, watch Heart Condition.
Heart Condition?
Yeah.
And Cooties?
Heart Condition and Cooties. Watch those. Two very different films.
Okay.
But Heart Condition has a ghost. So,
oh, cool.
I mean, for what it's worth. But that's Bob Hoskins, Denzel Washington, and then Chloe Webb. Yeah, it's from 1990. I love that movie, but I'm a big fan of Bob Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's in my top 10 for sure. And I also loved him in Enemy at the Gate.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember watching that.
I think so.
So it's based on a true story about a Russian sniper, the most decorated and most kill count Russian sniper versus a German sniper during World War II.
Okay.
Like there's an entire museum wing dedicated to Vasily Zaitsev. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I wanted one rifle because of him. Now I have it. They're not great rifles. They're kind of cheap rifles.
What is it?
Russia makes very cheap rifle. It's a Mosin Nagant.
Oh, you have one?
Yeah. So what's currently at someone else's house being worked on. I need to get a hold of them to get that rifle back because it's a 1950. Mine's not as old, so mine's not from World War II. Mine's from the Korea era. Mine's a 1953. Yeah, Mosin Nagant. It's a 7.62 by 5.4R, so it's a pretty big round. They're not. They used to be like a dime a dozen rifle because they were made by so many different countries for so many decades that they're used to be able to buy crates of these guns and $100 gun all day long. Like nothing crazy, but mine had the tri-point bayonet, fixed bayonet on it. Like, but I never got it to fire properly. Initially thought it was a firing pin problem. Bought a new firing pin. That didn't change anything. Did a go, no go on it. And no matter how much I adjusted that firing pin, it never fully fired the rounds. So I'm like, frick, I still have the other firing pin. But the guy I got it from has it because he was supposed to work on it. And I got to reach out to him like, hey, dude, it's been a while. So fix my rifle. Can I get my rifle back? And then I'll take it to someone else. Like, it's a really fun gun. But I had a buddy at work years ago that had 3 of them because they make them in different styles. You have I think it's the Dragoon, the carbine. Mine's a carbine, so it's the shorter of them. But the Dragoon is a much longer. It's like a foot longer or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But he was using, Vasily used a Mosin Nagant. Here we go. Like there's an image of him.
Okay.
So it's old school, very much World War II looking wood stock. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different styles. And so mine was one of the shorter ones.
Okay.
But my buddy had one of the really freaking long ones. Yeah. Fun gun. Like pretty decent round. I mean, it's uncommon because it's a freaking Russian round. I mean, it's not that uncommon, but they're a little pricier because it's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool gun. But I really wanted one because of that movie. Like really wanted one. And that's what's his face that played Watson in the Sherlock Holmes movies from Guy Ritchie. I can see his face.
Jude Law?
Jude Law.
Okay.
Jude Law played Vasily. Yeah, Enemy at the Gate. Really good movie, in my opinion. I know a lot of people crap on it. It's from 2001, so it's a bit dated.
What's it called?
Enemy at the Gates.
Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah, that one I've also got on disc. I love this freaking movie, but it really goes to show that Russia isn't the powerhouse that people are so afraid of it being right now. Like, they got a lot of people, but communism sucks.
Yeah.
And it really destroys.
And like a lot of the Russian fighters don't even want to fight for Russia.
Oh, dude, what was crazy about that, and they show it so well. Like, this movie shows that Russia fucking sucks at war, at least since the 40s. So they're being bombarded by, and this was like Germany's biggest mistake, was pushing so many of their people into Russia. It thinned out their ranks everywhere else. Like, I mean, America's the best, and we kicked the shit out of everyone anyway, so it didn't matter where they were. But they roll in, and they're pushing Russia farther and farther back into their own territory. And Russia's a big-ass place, but half of it's very cold and very shitty, so no one wants to be there. So they're being pushed back into Stalingrad, and it's like they have to hold it because it's named after their great Joseph Stalin. Fucking commies. So what they were doing was just throwing men like a wood chipper. Like, the German machine was just brutal, but the Russians were just like snatching up dudes, making them soldiers, and throwing them at this. And you would give one guy a rifle, and then the next guy a clip of ammunition, because these were stripper clips. Is the one time you can say a clip. Everything else is called a magazine. Figure it out. It's not that hard.
Mom.
So you would hand one dude a rifle, the next guy would get like 10 rounds, and then the next guy gets a rifle, next guy, and you're just being shoved into the fray. And these dudes the Germans were just lighting them up with their fully automatic weapons and tanks and everything else, and these are just dudes.
Yeah.
No armor.
Regular human guys.
Yeah. You're wearing your very thick wool jacket and, and some
vest.
gear, but no vests.
Yeah.
You get a chintzy ass helmet, and that's it, dude. Like, you're not exactly like a tactical.
Yeah.
So you're very much like zombies, just like more zombies better.
They're doing that now with the Ukraine shit.
Oh,
they're doing
dude,
that they're just grabbing people and making them soldiers.
Yeah. Like, well, Ukraine's doing the same thing, and this is a war that should have never happened, and it's Ukraine's fault. Fuck Ukraine. Read a book. Like, do your own research if you think Ukraine's the good guy here. They're not. So they're just throwing guys at the enemy, and half the dudes there getting taken out, and you're following Vasily, and he's one of the guys that just got a clip, got no gun, and he's running around trying to get his hand on a gun, and people are like clinging to these guns. They don't want to let him go, but half of them
with no ammunition.
But half of them, well, they got a few rounds in them.
Oh, okay.
But and they're telling them, one man gets a rifle, next guy gets ammunition. When the rifle goes down, the man with the bullets picks up the gun, and you continue firing. So you have a rifle with rounds in it, and then the second guy gets more rounds.
Yeah.
But you don't need a gun because the dude in front of you is going to get dead.
Yeah.
You pick up that rifle, and you try not to get dead. So they're doing this, and they're being put through the wood chipper, and it gets to the point where they all want to retreat because they're getting so slaughtered. And the Russians, being very Russian, pull out all of their automatics, their big machine guns, and they go, if you retreat, we're going to kill you all. Mm-hmm. So you're screwed either way. Now you're basically a man without a country because your own country is willing to kill you if you don't die from the enemy.
In battle, yeah.
And the enemy will definitely kill you because they outgun you by a lot. So it gets to this really shitty position where you're just stuck between two cannon lines of fully automatic rifles. And you got nowhere to go. You're stuck in the small square of town. You got no escape. So it gets to the point where Vasily, like, bombs are going off and stuff, and he kind of gets knocked out. Well, he wakes up, and the whole field is just dead Russians. And Germans are walking through bayoneting bodies. Mm-hmm. So he hides underneath the body in, like, this, what used to be like a big fountain, like a big center fountain. And so he's laying down. He pulls a body over him, and someone comes over, bayonets the body on top of him, and they keep moving. So then he's kind of walking around, and he hears someone else talking. And there's another, to this point, he still hasn't got his hands on a damn rifle. So he hears someone else kind of whispering, and there's someone else in this fountain hiding with him, and they got a rifle. And the guy's kind of shaking, and he convinces him to give him the rifle. So Vasily gets the rifle, And then he just starts popping dudes. But he's like, wait, because the guy's getting ready to fire at an officer. And he's like, wait. He goes, if you shoot, and he's whispering, he's like, if you shoot, they're going to know we're here and we're dead. He's like, let me have the rifle. So he gives him the rifle, and he's waiting for like bombs to go off and other distractions. And then he's taking dudes out at the same time other things are happening. And so he winds up clearing the field of these guys, and they get out of there. Well, this dude's like a reporter. He's a writer. So he starts writing up and printing these stories about him and his exploits, about Vasili's exploits. So then he just continues going through, and he eventually becomes the #1 sniper in the Russian military. And he's sniping out officers. He's not just taking out dudes on the ground. He's actually taking out officers. And so he's taking all these German officers, and he gets to be so big, and they're printing off all these newspapers. He's a folk hero now. And now the high command of the crazy-ass Russians are like putting his name out there. He's like the poster child for war in Russia, even though they're getting their asses kicked by Germany. But it's all propaganda. So, but he is actually killing all these dudes. Well, it gets to the point where he's such a big problem for the Germans that the Germans send in their #1 sniper to go kill this guy. So now it becomes a game of cat and mouse between the two best snipers on the two armies. So it's a really fun movie. I love that movie
Enemy
so
at the
much.
Gates?
Enemy at the Gates.
Okay.
It is so freaking fun.
You said you got it on DVD, right?
Yeah. I got that one when it first came out because I fell in love with it. I was at my aunt's house, and we watched it because she liked it, and she knew I'd love it. So I watched it.
Been on a war movie kick today. I watched Jarhead and Fury.
Love Fury. I love the true story behind Fury. Yeah, you should find The Fat Electrician on YouTube and watch the true story of War Daddy. War Daddy was way fucking cooler in real life.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that story was way more epic in real life. They really missed an opportunity with some cool shit if they had followed the real story about War Daddy. Yeah, that dude was like a legit badass. So you should check out that video, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Fat Electrician goes hard on War Daddy's whole history. Yeah, I didn't care much for Jarhead though.
I liked it.
Yeah, there were certain things in it that just kind of like got me.
Really?
But I mean, I was also like, I had friends over there while that was happening. Like, I got friends that actually got popped from IEDs and stuff. So I was like, it's not that one's a little too visceral for me. But
there's no IEDs in it.
No, but I have friends.
Oh, okay.
That went out that way. So
okay.
Yeah, but it was all happening. They were actually over there. So, yeah, that's Fury is so freaking fun. I love that movie. It's inaccurate as hell for real life, but it's great.
That's good.
The acting was great in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernthal and his crazy ass sidekick were both great in it. No Shia LaBeouf. But yeah, dude, Enemy at the Gates. Yeah, Michael Pena is always fun. Have you ever seen 30 Minutes or Less?
Yeah.
Dude, I love him as the gangbanger. Yeah.
Pimps don't cry.
Yeah.
He's like putting alcohol on him.
Yeah.
Pimps don't cry.
Pimps don't cry. Pimps don't cry. I think he was a drug dealer.
Yeah, he was a drug dealer.
Pimps don't cry.
Pimps don't cry.
Dude, he's so funny. He's so underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
He was great in Shooter, even though he was more serious in Shooter.
Yeah. Good movie.
And I loved him in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're just backing up. Like, in the way he tells the stories. Because, I'm more of a rosé guy. Like, yeah, going into art. Pena's fantastic.
Yeah, he is.
He was good in that as a serious role. Like, Shooter was a more serious role. But, dude, 30 Minutes or Less when he gets out. Yeah, what's that, dog?
I like him in Observe and Report.
Yeah. Dude, I think he was also the thug in Friday After Next.
Yeah.
He was like, no more locked doors. I think that was him.
Yeah, that was him. That was Michael Pena.
Yeah. Dude, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, when he gets a good role to be funny, he crushes every time.
He's really funny.
Dude, I haven't watched Observe and Report since it came out. Who blows up a Chick-fil-A? No one loves Chick-fil-A. Everyone loves Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's delicious.
Yeah. Fuck you, Ronnie.
Dude, but I haven't watched that. That one came out in like 05, 06.
Yeah.
Like, that's an old movie.
I found out too that they did Observe and Report, and
Paul Blart.
a month before it was going to get released, the script got hijacked.
Oh,
and then they did
Paul Blart Mall
They
Cop.
did Mall Cop, like, and it released like right after it, or it was in theaters with it. Like it was like a super sped movie, the Mall Cop one.
Yeah.
And it like destroyed Observer Report because of it, because it was for kids, and Observer Report is not for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I just think that's pretty fucked up. Like, it's crazy to see how gnarly Hollywood is. Like,
well, what's
they
even
see an
more
idea.
interesting is if you actually, this is something I've been talking about my entire life. If you actually go through Hollywood stuff, you will find two competitive studios making very similar movies at the same time, and typically the one like Ants and A Bug's Life came out at the same time. Ants is so much better than A Bug's Life. But like we got Ants. My dad bought that
$70 million movie
for which one?
Ants.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all the it's all CGI.
Know,
the whole
and
very early CGI.
Yeah.
But you got
star-studded cast. Though,
you got
Sylvester
Sly Stallone. Yeah. The movie's fantastic. Such a better
I don't know
story.
why that sticks into my head, but I read that once, that it was $70 million to make it, and I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah.
$70 million?
Would have been a lot cheaper to go animation, but CGI was like just cracking off, and they were like, we want to flex.
Yeah.
Such a better film, but A Bug's Life did way more financially.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the
I like
big
Bug's
Disney
Life.
film.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
But
Ants is way better.
dude, Ants is G.
That termite fight is so fun. I always wish
People dying, getting acid up and everything. Like it's a much.
I always wish that when they were having that big battle, if they would do one shot of like panning up to the tree stump and it like dead quiet, and then zooming back in on the fight.
Go meta for a minute.
It would be fun, dude.
It would have been. It would have been really fun.
It would have been fun.
Like, dude's getting
because it's a gnarly. It's a gnarly battle.
It's dark, dude.
Yeah,
it is
heavy.
It is way dark.
Everybody's dying. Like. People are losing limbs and heads, and and the general's got his head, and that's all he's got left. And he's all,
but that would have been really fun. There's
just one shot of the, and they cut back to the battle.
See a few little movements, and then zoom back in real quick. But do like one of those real fast zip outs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and then you just see like kids playing in a park, like throwing a frisbee, and then it zips back in with all this bloodshed and slaughter. I love that movie, dude.
Yeah, it's a great film. It's really fun to watch, like, as an adult.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I've watched it a couple of times as an adult, because I watched it as a kid a fucking million times, because I was, like, obsessed with it. But then I watched it,
it's
like,
gnarly,
grown,
man.
and I'm like, this is a heavy movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember it being this emotional when I was watching it.
I did. I remember that whole battle being like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is nuts. Like, this is a
For the longest time, I thought the termites did that.
And then, like, the queen.
Yeah.
Like, just cranking out babies.
Yeah.
And it was like.
And it's a worker or soldier.
Yeah.
They
worker,
get the hard
soldier.
hat.
Worker, soldier.
Yeah.
Worker. And he's like, I should be a soldier. And then Sly's all, sure
jacked,
you should.
Yeah. Super jacked. And then he becomes a worker at the end. It's a great movie.
Yeah. I really dig that movie. But it happens a lot if you actually run through like the history of films. You'll find two very similar movies coming out at the same time, competing. And it always confused me. I wish it wasn't so late. My brain wasn't shut off, because I've actually had this conversation with a lot of other people. Like I used to talk to my dad about it a lot too. I'm like, man, like the same premise or the same like base idea. Like the films normally diverge from each other pretty quickly, but it's like,
but it's the same concept.
How did you get the same idea?
Yeah.
I was like, how much shady shit's going on in Hollywood?
Tons,
like,
dude.
Well, I mean, I know there is,
Yeah.
but as far as stealing each other's ideas,
Yeah.
all the other stuff runs deep on its own.
Yeah.
But
idea stealing has got to be huge, though.
Dude, like,
because the script leaks or somebody takes, or you got like a mole in like some studio that's like, this script has this premise, let's run with that. Like,
the crazy thing is how many of those people know each other and are friends, and that's all it takes, dude. All it takes is one little, oh, we're doing this, and then someone else just runs with it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of competing films that come out like at the same time
that are similar.
You're like, but one of them almost always falls off.
Or you have the thing where like a movie will come out and then the concept will be like completely rewritten, but the same thing, like Megan to like Child's Play.
Yeah, it's a total ripoff of Chucky.
Total ripoff. I mean, it's so blatant.
Yeah,
it's wild. Like, it's such a clear ripoff. Like, that happens often too.
Yep. Well, it happens more with B movies though than it does with big Hollywood blockbusters.
Yeah.
Like Megan is like a big top tier film.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, B-list movies happens to a lot.
But yeah, normally it's the lower end producer, which is why you should watch Get Shorty. Actually, screw all that. You should watch Get Shorty.
The TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Get Shorty, that's Ray Romano's entire role is a low budget B movie producer.
Oh, producer.
Yeah, he's a producer. So that's his whole shtick, is making small film. So when Chris O'Dowd goes to him, the main character, when he goes to him to be like, hey, I want to make this movie, you're going to make this movie with me. After he finally sits down and like pays attention, actually reads the script, because he pushes that off for a long time as much as he can. But Chris O'Dowd is fucking thug life, so he ain't taking no for an answer. When he finally reads the script, he's like, dude, I'm not your guy. I want to make this movie. I'm not this guy. This is a period piece. It's a big budget film. I make $700,000 direct to DVD films. That's the Chinese market's my bread and butter. I don't make this movie. This isn't me. You need a big studio to make this movie. And that's where like everything kind of kicks off for the movie making side of the show.
Okay.
There's like 3 layers of this show.
Okay.
But like the Hollywood side of it is very much those like, no, dude, I make like low budget film. I make these direct to DVD, like quick crank them out movies. So it's kind of interesting to get like that little taste of how Hollywood works on different levels, because they kind of get into it. Now, how accurate all of it is, I imagine it's very accurate because my mind goes in that weird, this is all insane shit show clown world kind of thing. But yeah, dude, you should watch Get Shorty.
Okay.
That's what you should watch, because that show is fantastic.
Okay.
Like,
you just have to go, when you first open up your library, there's the movies, and then underneath it are TV shows, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't use it on there as much, but I think you can go into shows versus movies. But yeah, Get Shorty. Actually, and Get Shorty should be on something else. It should be on MGM, because it was Plex. There was what you call it. So it's on. Oh no, that's the movie. I want the show. I don't want the movie, because it was on Plex and now it's owned by MGM.
It says YouTube.
Stupid.
From $1.99, Fandango, Amazon Prime.
Damn it. Because I have season 1 on DVD. There's got to be another way to watch this show. Damn it.
Oh, there's 3 seasons.
Yep. Yeah, and it hasn't been canceled, but it hasn't been picked up for a 4th season either. And it's ended in 2019. So it's like, just give us a 4th season. Like, round out the story. Even if it's the last season, round out the damn story. Watch show.
We only have a few more days until What We Do in the Shadows.
I know, dude.
I'm so pumped.
Damn it. Well, maybe not, because there used to be an app you could use to watch Get Shorty, and now that app doesn't exist because the studio got bought out by MGM, the bastards, and apparently it's not on MGM Plus. At least I didn't see it on there. It might be, but well. Alrighty. Well, it's getting late.
Yeah.
I'm Batman. Thanks for hanging out. Tucson, Arizona. What We Do in the Shadows. So good. Watch it.
Yes.
And at some point, we'll actually sit down and start reviewing that show.
Yes, please.
But been kind of waiting for the new one to kick off.
Yeah.
And kind of weed through it from there. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Randy.
I'm Daniel.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
I'm Batman.